All right, you tell us when we're ready. Yep. Hello and welcome to today's round of the 2025 Australian Water Polo League season at the home of Inner West Water Polo, the incredible Dawn Fraser Baths. So for those who don't know, the AWL showcases the best of Australian water polo to the community while inspiring and engaging our current and future stars. Now today is a huge weekend of sport. We've got Live Golf down in Adelaide, the races all over the country, NRL trials, all-star matches, but I reckon we've got the best of the pick here. Balmain Tigers versus Sydney Uni Lions down at Dawn Fraser Baths. So I'm James Falzon and I'll be in the commentary den for the men's and women's games today. For the men's game today, I'm joined by Alec Mayer. Alec, welcome.
Yes, James, thank you. Very excited to be here. First time doing some proper commentary, especially on a day like this with two great teams going face to face. It's going to be really exciting.
So I know you say like the first time doing proper commentary, but those who follow the Tigers' social media pages would be very familiar with your features that you do on there. I've been absolutely loving those interviews. Who's been the best to interview so far?
That's a very tough question. I think I've had the most fun doing some of the international boys, as they're a bit of fresh faces, get some good accents in there. Adrian was a very funny one especially. I'm not sure if all of it made the cut, but yeah, it was very good.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of subtitling going on there.
Yeah,
now,
tiny bit.
We'll come back to the teams in a second, but first of all, I just wanted to sort of go, look, the water today, it's playing pretty fast. You've been down on pool deck. It's a high tide, which is always the best time to play at Dawny, especially for the opposition. I think we like when it's a little bit lower. But how do you think the pool's playing today?
I think from what I've seen so far, it looks good. Everyone's moving quick. They're all up high. It's very clear as well, which is good. But as you said before, if it was lower, we get to play what we're used to and
definitely
kind of give
an advantage to us.
Give the opposition something they're not quite comfortable with.
Unreal. But so this year's comp is, I reckon it's probably one of the best comps I've seen in a very, very long time. So most people probably thought that the West team would run away from it after the Olympic success that a lot of those guys had. And that team is absolutely jam-packed with superstars, yet they're not sitting top of the table at the moment. UWA's on top, but the Drummoyne, Fremantle, Sydney Uni, Balmain are all challenging them. So what have you made of the season so far?
Yeah, for sure. It's a really, really great competition this year. There's a lot of teams doing really great things, especially, Balmain, of course, we're having a very strong start to the season, beating some rivals like Drummoyne, another stacked team, a close game with West, beat UWA. It's very, very jam-packed, as you said, but it's very good to see the competition when it's packed like this. It makes it a lot more competitive and enjoyable, I think.
Yeah, and I think there's a number of reasons for the comp being so successful this year. First of all, I think, like I said before, having the Olympic team having so much success, it's brought that knowledge and skill set, and a lot of them are playing in the National League this year or in the AWL this year. But on top of that, there's some phenomenal imports this year. I don't think you can go past UWA's Hannes Dobe, who was phenomenal at the Olympics and has continued that form into the AWL. I think he's scored over 35 goals in half a dozen games. Has been phenomenal for the comp.
Yeah, and I think very incredible to get talent like that in the AWL, as it makes it more competitive, of course. Like there's just so much talent, as you said, especially with imports, Olympians, all of it. Like who wouldn't want to see that, right? It's the top best you can get in Australia.
Exactly, and I think so. On top of that, so we've got some incredible players. So we've got Hans from UWA. Today you'll see the Canadian Jeremy Conti, but we've also got a couple of crackers. And you mentioned earlier that we've got when you were doing the interviews, a couple of imports. Can you talk us through who are the Tigers imports this year and what we should be expecting from them today?
Yes, so to start it off, we've got Sam Keatley. He's from New Zealand. We have Adrian Abad, who is from Italy. I'm not entirely sure where. And then we also have...
Spanish?
He could be. He very well could be. Still getting used to that. I haven't been around
Simone
enough.
is definitely from Italy.
Oh, yeah, Simone is definitely from there. I might have got him mixed up.
He's almost not even an import anymore.
Yeah, I know. He's a natural, mate. He's been here for years. Known him very well. And last but not least, the American Ethan Parrish is a very, very key player to this Balmain team and a very successful import thus far.
Hasn't he been phenomenal this year for the Tigers?
Incredible. Yeah.
And I think it comes down to the other thing that I think has also brought into a close competition is the new rules. Initially, I thought that these new rules would have a sort of detrimental impact. I didn't really like the idea of change, but I've absolutely loved them. So for those of you who don't know, a couple of significant rule changes for the men's competition especially. In the men's comp, they now play over a 25-metre pool, which means there's more action. But also, with the 25-second shot clock, means that they've got less time in possession when they are attacking. And then on top of that, when there's an exclusion, you've only got 15 seconds. So what are you seeing with those new rule changes?
Yeah, no, and that's exactly right. The main takeaway from all of that, I think, is that the new rules suggest a very, very fast-paced approach, which is why I quite like it, actually, as it leads to more attacks, more shots, more goals, and makes it a lot more enjoyable to the common viewer that otherwise wouldn't know a lot about the sport.
Yeah, and it has a completely different... It's changed the flow of the game, I feel. It means that it's non-stop action, non-stop movement, and it's become more skillful and more intense, which I've found that there's a couple of types of players that really benefit from that. So Ethan, Harnes, they're both perfect prototypes for the sort of the modern player. But on top of that, it's the players who are composed. So because it's really frenetic at times, it's the players that play with the level of composure that they're actually the ones having success, knowing that you don't have to score every attack. If as long as you defend well, you can get on a run and you can score goals in momentum. It kind of has those peaks and troughs and swings.
Precisely. With similar timing and faster shot clocks, you're going to get a lot more chances throughout the game. Like consistently, every time you're going to be getting up there. The shorter field as well. Maybe accompanies even to some of the slower swimmers as well. Like we know Sydney Uni are known for their counter-attack and Japanese press, which may not be as effective in these new pools and rules.
I think you're 100% right there. And there's also a couple of other rules that just help the game flow a little bit better, which the smarter players are really taking advantage of. And a couple of these smaller rules just mean that there's more, the ball is in play more, so there's less of the stop play where you can actually have a rest and almost recalibrate yourself. You're getting those quick passes out, the ball's in play, so both the goalkeepers and the defenders really have to be concentrating the whole time.
And it also means the depth of your bench has to be a lot stronger and fitter. They've got to be ready to go at all times because those quick substitutions down the side come into play a lot more just due to the intensity and fast-pacedness.
And again, I think that's been an awesome development to the game, the flying subs, where they come in and out through the sides. I think that's a real...
That's been around for how many years now?
I think it's been around 2 or 3 years now.
Two, three.
But I think teams are now just really smarter with the way that they're using it. I think at the start it was almost a bit of a gimmick, but now I think it's a really strong part of the game, and if used well, it's really beneficial.
Exactly. It's sort of become engraved into a lot of teams like regular game, really.
Is indeed. So now
it looks like we're getting ready to start up here.
We're getting ready for the teams to line up.
12:28, 12:30 start.
12:30 start. So doesn't look like the teams have caps on just yet. So we're probably still a couple of minutes away, which is probably a good time to have a little bit of a closer look at these two teams. So today's game, because of this, is now only a 10-team comp. So there is also that increased pressure on making that top six, and because like we said before, the quality of the teams are that little bit higher, so every game counts. But this game is particularly important for Balmain, so they kind of really hope to break back into the top six here. So I know this is a game that down here at the Baths against Uni, Grant Sims Cup Day, I think the guys they know the importance of this game,
especially against their arch rivals as well. At home kind of takes a lot higher priority, I guess you could say, because we only have a limited number of home games and we do get that benefit of playing where we love. So, very important one today.
And from playing in these games, there is nothing like a Sydney Uni Balmain game. There's nothing like it. It doesn't matter where the teams are sitting on the comp or how one team might be stronger on paper than the other. They're always close battles,
It's always a very, very big battle just because of the history, really. Two of the oldest clubs, right? So
two of the oldest clubs played in a lot of grand finals against each other, a lot of big games against each other.
A lot of games down here as well.
A lot of games down here, which really does, in years gone past, it's been a real advantage to us playing down here.
Sure.
So I think this game it's got all the hallmarks of an absolutely cracking game. On top of that, the last time these two teams met, the Tigers won in a very close game. I think it was 18-14 at Sydney Uni. But I think this game, Sydney Uni will be a lot better than they were last time. So this year, we'll go through the team quickly. So the Sydney Uni team. So number 1 is Bay Fountain. Number 2, Ashton Brown. Number 4, Toby Goldschmidt. Number 6, Nick Hallam. Now, Nick was fantastic last time they played against the Tigers. In number 9, Thomas Oates. Number 11, Louis Schuler. Number 12, Tyler Krenkles. Number 13, Drew McJanet. Number 15, William or Billy Miller. Number 16, Jeremy Cotty. Number 19, Corey Webber. Number 21, Lewis Sorpin. And number 22, Sam Bloomfield. Now, of those guys, the Lions are obviously headlined by Canadian international Jeremy Cotty, who we talked about previously, the stalwart Louis Schulter, and journeyman Nick Hallam. So it's going to be really interesting to see how we do nullify them during this game.
It's a very good mixture of players as well. You've got a lot of older guys. Well, don't want to call them old, don't want to be rude, but when you compare them to some of the 2006 born players like Ashton Brown and Corey Webber, Lewis Sorpin, players I've played with and against down here. It's a very good mixture.
And now a couple of those guys have last year was probably their first real season playing National League. Sydney Uni played in the grand final last year, getting silver. And those guys actually got a fair bit of pool time. So I've been really impressed with how the Sydney Uni team, Sydney Uni club has been bringing the juniors through into the comp.
Yeah, for sure. All really great players that have been put through a really tough and good development, but it shows how it's paid off and how mixing in with these really professional players early on has benefited their game.
100%. And so I think today, Uni they'll press, like you mentioned before, they will press and play that Japanese press, which for those playing along at home, that's playing it really high in the lanes so that they can put pressure on the attacking team. And now in a 25-metre pool, that makes it even that little bit harder. So they play in those lanes and then they go on a really explosive counter-attack to try and get the advantage. So I think they will continue to play that press and push the counters, and then which I think will work in the favour of the Tigers team, because we've got a number of versatile players who can drive in at a second centre forward, who can take advantage of that high press, because by playing that high press in front, it means that it's a one-on-one contest. So by able to play that one-on-one contest, it means we can drive in late for a second centre forward and hopefully an exclusion and a quick goal. The key matchups for them on the sort of left-hand side, so probably Billy, Louis and Jeremy will play on the right-handers side. That's where they'll control a lot of their attack. So I think it'll be key for us to defend there throughout that. Now, let's quickly go through the Balmain team. So number 1, Ollie Purcell. Number 2, Ethan Parrish. Number 3, Sam Keatley. Is that how you say that? Keatley. Number 4, Sam Hughes. Number 5, Nick Madden. Number 6, Adrian Abad Calvo. Number 7, Simone Bertino. Number 8, Ben Lucas. Number 9, Gordon Marshall. 10, Mitch Robinson. 11, Sam Beebe. 12, Danny Lawrence. And number 21, Joel Smith.
Returning from France recently, Joel Smith. He did 6 months over there. Put on a couple pounds, but it looks like Connor's been training back.
He came back in a little bit better shape than I thought he would.
Well, seeing him over there, I didn't have too many high hopes, but yeah, he's come back and he's got straight back into the team, so it's very good to see.
Excellent, fantastic. All right, so players are now coming into the water. A couple of minutes behind.
I think it would be good to mention that this round is Indigenous round as well.
Yeah, it is. Really important that we do celebrate Indigenous round, celebrate Indigenous culture. We've got a couple of key Indigenous athletes who have formally represented both Balmain and Australia. Two of the main ones that I can think of are so Dean Simmons and Nathan Thomas. Obviously Nathan coached at Balmain, didn't play at Balmain, but yeah, really important that we do acknowledge that.
100%.
So both teams lining up here. So as we said before, number 6, Nick Hallam, key player for Sydney Uni. Was really dangerous in the last game. Yeah.
We're underway.
Yeah, it looks like Tigers ball. And you're right, they go straight into that heavy press.
Exactly, all up on the inside shoulder of the ball.
But playing it so straight into that double centre forward for the Tigers.
Yep, so they've switched very well there. They've started from a front and press, and then as soon as the man gets beat, they drop back very quickly on the first call.
Yeah, it's interesting. You see, with a lot of the key teams now, they play a number of defences in one defensive pressure. So
Yeah, well, communication is so important when it comes to water polo, right? And to be able to do that, you need to have very good communication, which a lot of the time comes from the goalie.
yeah, it really does. But see how quickly
Like the
that
press?
25 seconds has come.
Very fast, yeah, a lot faster than a lot of us are used to. Ethan's looking for the ball. I believe it's on his right
For the
there.
ball,
Yeah.
so that was a good dump by Jeremy Cotty, and it's great to see that match up. So Jeremy Cotty, the Canadian international, up against Ethan. That should be an absolute cracker to watch.
Very
And
good
straight
matchup.
away, by playing those two centre forwards, it's made Sydney Uni change their defensive structure around.
Oh, very unfortunate from Simona there. Great pass from Ben Lucas using the ball to fake out the goalie and the defenders. Another player inside the top 7 for goals scored so far this season.
Heavy defence here
Balmain.
for the Tigers. But see, these type of new rules are perfect for the likes of Billy Miller. See there, he's really smart. Gets the foul inside 5, moves back out so he's dangerous and put the defence in 2 minds. And that was Nick Hallam in at centre forward who earned that exclusion on Sam Hughes. So it's good to see those two going 2-2.
Oh, great steal.
Great steal there by Ethan Parrish. And see the flow of the game just goes back and forth so quickly. Both teams have already had a couple of opportunities to score. Mitch Robbo holding the ball up. Oh, great
Hard Ben
pass.
Lucas, but 2-metre call late.
That was a good drive. Just
a very
went
good drive.
inside the 2 metre.
Probably went a second early, because if he starts outside of the 2-metre and then catches it when he's
Then
in
it's
there,
in.
it would be play on. But
Which is probably that sort of offside trap that Connor Martin's going for.
very close shot from there. No goals so far.
No goals so far, but a number of scoring opportunities. And because it goes so quick, like we said, it's going to be the first team that shows a bit of composure to score a couple of goals and go into a run. Now, I like here they've taken Olympian Billy Miller into centre back, better known for his attacking prowess than his defensive prowess, but really smart. Watch how he's straight away gone into counter-attack. With Canadian Jeremy Cotty getting a little bit of break on Ethan. That's a cracking contest, that one. And straight away, Nick Hallam goes into centre forward and creates space.
And an offensive foul on centre back.
Good, as you can see,
Now a
they're
kick out.
really
Right.
working over Nick. That's obviously an idea from Coach Martin.
Yeah, that is a Connor tactic if I've ever seen one, to be honest. But
He's playing all of his cards here early. 2 centre forwards, working over 2-2 with their centre forwards. But again, with this extra man, with 15 seconds in the attack, it does mean that there's no margin for error. So there you saw the 2-post popping out. It was the right move. Robbo holds it up, puts it onto the 2-post and just throws it over the back.
such a simple move, isn't it? You basically see it in every team nowadays. Just the way they run it, pop out. It just, no matter what the defensive team does, it's going to end up in a 3-on-2 situation.
Yeah, 100% right. And because of the small attack, and that's, as we talked, that was a great goal by number 11, Louis Schuler. So there you saw a lot of movement from the Sydney Uni team on the left-hander side, which made the Tigers' defence all suck back into that area. And you saw the cross pass, and he was on 4 or 5 metres, so it's hard not to score from there.
Especially with only one player blocking on the goalie. Uni making some substitutions about halfway through the first quarter, would you say?
Halfway through. Sam Hughes doing a great job of getting into centre forward and holding position.
Oh, good save.
He's got such a deceptive shot, Ethan, doesn't he?
Very,
It looked like it wasn't going quick, but it still got the goalkeeper going in a different direction, and then from that, he got the ball back.
What I've noticed with him is his forearm is actually where the majority of his power comes from, which is how he's able to deceive them and sort of...
Cracking goal!
goal.
That was a
Sam
really good
Hughes
play.
up.
So Sam Bebb passes into Sam Hughes, with a lot of traffic around him. He had centre back behind him and had a couple of players coming back, but he managed to grab the ball, turn inside and throw through the goalkeeper. Fantastic goal by Sam Hughes to start.
Yeah, 100%. Sam, he's seen him in the gym a lot actually recently. He goes to the same gym as me. He's there almost every day. I believe he's doing the 75 hard. And
what's the 75 hard?
I believe he got it because Danny Lawrence said that he was doing it in the chat and decided to hop along. I believe it's you have to do 2 45-minute workouts a day, 1 outside minimum, 15 minutes of reading, 3 healthy meals, and no alcohol.
Love that. While we've been listening to the 75 challenge, we saw a drive along the 2-metre line by Canadian Jeremy Cotty, who then earned an exclusion. They got the quick pass in, an easy goal. So again, I think that's the way that you've got to try and break up this defence with that drive, and by having an exclusion on the 2-metre line means that you can have the quick cross pass and goal in. So that is 1-1 deep into the first quarter.
I mean, we know that Cotty is going to make a very big impact in the game as well. We knew this from the start.
Such a dynamic player, isn't he?
Seems like Connor's moved Parrish around to the top instead of being on that drive. So,
Sam Hughes causing trouble at centre forward. Did really well there to hold on to the ball and then got a shot away. Just went wide, hit the post and wide, and then big defensive counter-attack here. As you've seen, this Sydney Uni team, like you said, as soon as the change over the possession, boom, straight into counter-attack.
Of course, straight away.
And they've caused a lot of space here. Sam Hughes gone straight into centre-back against, I think that's Ashton Brown at centre-forward.
It is. Born in 2006. Good save.
He had to come back here.
Very unfortunate. Just touched the rope. So it doesn't actually have to go out for a 2-metre for those just listening on at home.
It's just got to go over the line, doesn't it? And the line is actually about a ball width in front of the rope.
Precisely. Oh, kick out.
I think that might be an exclusion. That's a 5-metre, that. Yeah. And again, that movement across the 2-metre line from the right-hand side, that's definitely something that the Tigers have to watch.
And that's Sam on 2 exclusions now, meaning Connor will most likely take him out for a bit of a rest. Don't want to
So where's he going to shoot
him
this?
Too early.
So 5-metre penalty here. Where is he going to shoot? Already the heckling from the crowd.
I'm calling bounce top right. Ooh. Oh, I was way off. Bottom left.
Bottom left. Yeah. Let's see how quickly he got that shot off.
Yeah, very quick pick up and release. Barely even took it high. He kind of kept his arm a bit wide, didn't he?
Low.
Sort of flicked it down to the bottom left.
And that was another goal to... That was, Louis Schuler. So that's his second for the game. So which takes the score to 2-1 Lions over Tigers. And you're right, with Sam out, that is going to change the way that Connor's going to play this.
Oh, great backhand.
Cracking goal by Simone from, that was about 5 or 6 metres out.
Yeah, really.
Ball came in, again, similar to Sam's goal, where they had people coming back. The centre-back was doing the right thing, holding position, but the centre-back really does need to try to get an exclusion there. But should not be letting that shot get away.
Or even foul him just inside 6 metres. Doesn't have to be an exclusion necessarily, but a light foul means they can't shoot, slows down the attack a bit, reset. Yeah.
So that's now 2-2, bottom of the first.
3-2, I believe.
3-2.
3-2.
And another good exclusion. This time, Joel Smith earning an exclusion on the number 12, Tyler Krenkles. So they're going to have to go straight into their play here.
Big save.
Nice save. And this is another great matchup here
ball under.
With a couple of more experienced players, with Billy Miller and Danny Lawrence up against each other. Great matchup there.
Very, very great matchup. Both very accomplished players.
Pass into centre and another great exclusion. See, that late drive into centre forward, getting rewards. So they've got 15 seconds here. Sliding around, that 2-post popping out again. Long we go here. Lawrence onto Parrish again. They're almost pressing Parrish here.
Just over the bar.
2 metres, so Parrish has a shot from about 6 or 7 metres. There can't be long left in this quarter.
You You could almost say the defender was within 1 metre there.
Well, he was
Or
pretty
do you
close,
think,
but they're
I think
a little
Parrish
bit
may
more
have moved
lenient
quite
with this.
forward. Yeah.
Parrish definitely did take advantage and take the space forward. Billy Miller put pressure on him from that side.
There, you can see it
Billy
right now.
Miller on a
Boom.
counter-attack, and he will just stop and go for an exclusion here and then explode out to try to get space.
If you
But
look at
they've
that
got
right
a,
side.
They've got a 5-on-2 here, coming down the right-hand side.
That's what they do. If you saw that right side, 3 of them just straight away bolted down.
Bolted down, straight, really exploded into counter-attack. Miller went off to the left-hand side, so really at that point they had a 5-on-2. So
Precisely, yeah. It's very hard to defend that.
So we've got to be smarter with the Tigers. Have to be smarter with the ball and attack.
100%.
So 4-2.
Yes, 4-2, I believe.
But again, what you see with these new rules is momentum plays a massive part in the game.
Exactly, and that's why no game's really ever over, right? Especially with the extra attacks. No matter the deficit or the time left, there's always a chance for a comeback. It makes it very exciting.
Yeah, you can score 2 or 3 goals really quickly, and we've seen that happen a fair few times throughout the season. When the Tigers played Drummoyne, they were down by a few and just got the momentum of the game.
Yeah, that can.
Oh, great pass into centre. Oh,
A single team can go back to back to back within the span of 2 minutes. And
yeah, you just get
be
the
right back
momentum.
into
Get
it.
the momentum. They're trying to do flying change here, the Tigers, but slowing down, coming down into counter attack, moving forward. Got a foul and a shot needed here.
Oh, very unfortunate
very
last
unfortunate.
second, but we've got to be
Yeah, we've
quick
got
to get back now as well,
Yeah, we just didn't get down in that attack quick enough. So
for sure. And that's just a quick shot block, right? Especially late in the quarter.
exactly, but then unfortunately they've got a counter attack coming the other way.
Seems to be almost covered, but close shot, great save.
Close shot, great save. So Cotty really putting pressure on the Tigers on this left-hander's side.
And that's a great steal.
And that was-
who we count as a steal from Keatley, I'd say. He got his finger to that.
Yep, we'll give it to him. Give him the stat.
The hidden stats, I think we call them.
The
is
hidden stats.
all you can really see these days is goals and exclusions.
But it's interesting, they're the really important ones, aren't they? So the key stats that the juniors really should be looking at. Blocking.
Oh, very close lob, but good recovery from the goalkeeper to stay on his legs like that.
I thought he had just done enough there to get through, but great save by the goalkeeper.
Late shot, that's hit my sister in the crowd. Savvy, you alright?
She does seem okay for those playing along at home. Well, that quarter kind of had it all, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it's a very good introduction to the game. 4-2, I think. Or did I miss one at the end?
No, I think still 4-2.
Yeah, I think it's still
I think
4-2.
we saw a couple of great centre forward goals by the Tigers. I thought they did really well driving in that second centre forward, then playing the ball in late, and even with defenders coming back, they were able to get exclusions off. But that Sydney Uni heavy press, then back into a zone, and then counter attack. It's just proving to be a bit much for the Tigers at the moment.
It's a
isn't
very solid structure. It really is. Kind of contains all the elements of defence that you need to win a game, really. But I still have faith in the Tigers. Anything could happen, right? It's very early in the game.
Yeah, it's still early in the game, and I think they've just got to make sure they play with a little bit more composure and attack. And it's quite clear what they're trying to do, trying to drive in that second centre or getting Ethan to come round out top for a late shot. So that means the rest of the team needs to make sure that they're covering, playing as a team, working together, making sure they're nullifying that Sydney Uni counter attack. And I'm sure Sydney Uni coach here is probably just focusing on making sure they're not letting those passes around in attack, isolating, creating space, using the space because the Sydney Uni centre forwards are holding position, so they're in front, making the Balmain players play a more regular zone and not able to play that heavy press. They've got to take the space.
Yeah, 100%. Especially with Balmain having so many opportunities in that first half. There were a lot of shots that would either be post out, bar over, or just wide. Lots and lots of opportunities. So yeah, as you said before, composure is going to be really important, and I'm sure Connor would have been drilling that into them.
Yeah, now with Sam Hughes on 2 majors. Just something that Connor's got to sort of keep in mind, doesn't he? Because he's used Sam in a number of roles this year, but he's able to play centre forward, he plays centre back, so he kind of picks up their key players. But then he's also shot the ball reasonably well this year too.
He has, yeah, very well. But when you're being used in those positions, very important positions, when you're marking very great players, it's very hard to stay out of trouble with those majors, right? Especially centre back, such a position that draws a lot of those. But the Balmain boys have been drawing a lot of kickouts this quarter as well, as we head into the second quarter. Any second now.
Well, we've had our chances, haven't we?
Oh, 100%.
So we've had our chances, and we just got to make sure we capitalise on those. I think Sydney Uni's doing a really good job on Ethan. The only shots he's had a lot of pressure on him. He's had players coming at him from not just in front of him, coming from the side and really putting pressure on that. So it's obviously something that they're focused on. But that just means that some of our players really need to step up. For the first time in a long time, we've got scorers across the field. So I'd like to see probably Mitch Robbo get a little bit more involved, which I don't usually say because he's usually in the thick of absolutely everything.
Not to say he's having a bad season necessarily, but
no, just he's got such a great shot and he does have that presence. So if he can more bring some of the focus to this side, then that should open up Ethan. And then you've got to see probably Sam and Ben Lucas and even Adrian taking advantage on that far side.
100%. Well, any player in this team can score, right? They're all, of course, very capable of doing that. So it's just about working together, as you said, and keeping composure.
So Tigers have won the swim off. Come into attack. Clouds just come over the pool. Come straight into centre forward. Good pass in, just a minor foul. So now you've got Ethan and Danny Lawrence out top there. 2 very dangerous players
Adrian
out top.
might want to take that space, but he also may be waiting for... we've got a little stoppage here, waiting for that counter-attack.
We have technical difficulty. So Clock's just having a little bit of a wig out.
Yeah, not too sure.
So
Typical
interesting tactic here. So we've got Billy Miller dropping off on the far side, dropping off Danny Lawrence. Now, Danny probably doesn't have the shot he had 10 years ago, but he has got a brilliant shot. So they can't leave him for too long.
Oh, definitely not. He's got, I think I saw a stat recently, Danny. He's got how many AWL goals was it? 300 or something? Across his career? A ridiculous number.
Amount.
That's you follow basketball, some LeBron James numbers, genuinely.
Come up towards the commentary box. We've got national team coach Tim Hamill. Don't know if we'll be able to get an expert piece of advice here, but it's very interesting the kid here. Puts a bit of pressure on us now, doesn't it?
No, I was already nervous enough, man. Far out. But yeah, no, it's a new kit up here as well. We've just got it set up. This is obviously the first proper live stream we're doing with commentating. But it's very exciting for what we're able to do with the media and try and bring that popularity back to the sport, you know?
Yeah, so like I was saying before, I think the job that you guys have been doing with the social media has been fantastic. Not just keeping people up to date with what's happening around the club, but really highlighting who our players are. We've got some incredible young juniors who have come through and then balancing that with some of these older players. So you've got to know who they are. So that's why I think those interviews that you've been doing with them and showing more than just the athlete, I think they're fantastic to see.
And that's all Cooper Silk as well. He does a fantastic job, all for free, the Balmain media. He's running it so well, has so many big visions and dreams, and he's making them come to life, really, by doing stuff like this. It's very, very impressive, very impressive.
So that's not to say that they've used all the tech on our streaming equipment and the clock doesn't work, because the clock is now back running. Looks like they've got about 7 seconds left of this attack. So the ball's down deep. But one trick play in, straight into centre.
Just off the hand, but
unlucky.
Rebound. That doesn't
ball
reset
back.
the clock.
Great effort there by Sam, but that's the almost said the 30-second clock, but the possession clock. And Sydney Uni going to that trademark counter attack. Billy Miller in the middle of the pool. Look how Billy Miller controls the play here. He knows he's going to have a break on the left or right, and just sits up and just casually looks to where he knows the play is going to be.
It's that scanning, right? Just back and forth.
Scanning, that's the exact word. It's knowing what's going on all over the pool, and he does it really, really well.
It's a very good trait to have, just doing that naturally. As soon as you've got the ball in your hand, just looking at it, or even before, right?
Even before.
Know the pass that's going to happen after the pass. That's how you create goals and beat the defence.
So there's that counter-attack and there's that composure we were talking about. He probably could have held the ball up just a little second there, knowing that there was space somewhere else. But because we shot Ben Lucas shot from deep, it means that they've counter-attacked down.
A foul in the corner typically stops that quite effectively and allows us to reset for a second.
Yeah, smart foul there. Well, they are playing a
That's
double.
a 2 metre call right there, I believe, or push off.
That's good.
And if Benny puts on the burners here, he could get in front a little bit. That's okay.
I think you're right, he does need to put the burners on and get down the pool. We've got space here, but we need to use it.
The shot, unfortunately.
And that was that Danny Lawrence. He had everyone going the other direction. Unfortunately, just goes a little bit
I
wide.
think it might have gone off Billy Miller's hand there, actually. I think he might have just skimmed off his hand
Might
on
have
the
just
water.
got a block.
Potentially, yeah.
So here, as you can see, Billy just scheming. Driving in centre, he's created space for himself, but thankfully they can't get him the ball in that situation.
That's gone again. Looks like we have a 4-on-3 count.
4-on-3, but we got to go. We got to go.
Precisely. Benny's got to get his head up.
Like you said, Benny's got to go.
Gets it late. Still able to come in.
4-on-3's become a 3-on-4.
But there's still a man on the post. Oh, drags the defender in.
The space there. He's done the great thing there by Mitch Robbo. Drawed 2 defenders, and I thought they could have possibly popped it out to Danny Lawrence, but taking the shot himself. And Sydney coming back with a 2-on-1.
Ben hustles back.
There's that Billy Miller. Just held the ball up down that side, created space for himself, held it up, got the goalkeeper going one direction through the other. Got to be smarter in our attack because that's where that comes from. So that now takes the score to
5-3 I have, but that very well could be wrong. It may be 6-2.
We'll get a score check in a second.
Yeah. He's on the guys. That's my bad. I get too into the game, you know.
It's hard not to, right? It's hard not to.
It's just so exciting, like watching how it goes. I've got a pen in my hand and paper in front of me.
It's really hard not to be a fan, isn't it? Like when you see water polo at this high standard, you just want to get into it. But the Lions really playing that strong press. Then as soon as they held position, centre forward.
Oh, we've got it right. 5-2. Beautiful. Never mind.
Oh, our centre forward.
Oh, goal. Yes.
Great goal by Adrian. So Simone in at centre forward had got what looked like a good shot away, got saved, and it dropped just in front of Adrian, who managed to get a hand on and put it in. So it's those little things which can change the momentum. Sydney Uni defended really, really well, but we took advantage of our opportunity there. And that might just be the little bit of a spark that we need.
Precisely. A little bit of luck to tilt your way, and then suddenly the whole thing's shifted.
I love how Ashton Brown's taken Ethan into centre back here. Oh, he did well to get away. That was actually a really good pass from Sam Bloomfield over the top there, and just couldn't quite get it down.
Yeah, that was Ollie Purcell with a hand. He was shooting into the top left and he's just tipped it to knock the bar and then back.
He's done well this season, hasn't he, Ollie?
He's been very well, yeah, very good. Especially, we've got a lot of talented goalies at the club, and him especially, he's been doing a great job.
Come on.
Take it to the corner now, coming inside.
Inside, what have we got here?
Simo had a split second there, but he's lost it. They're going to call that a kick out as a dump.
They are going to call that. That was
very unfortunate. I'm not sure if you heard the whistle or not, but regardless, he has thrown it after the whistle, so it's going to be an exclusion.
That was Corey Webber who earned that. So here with the 15 seconds, this will go quickly. So one drop ball can really have an impact on the play. He's got to take that shot. Good defence.
Inside, back to even now with Keatley coming in for Parish.
So back to even. We've really got to balance quickly here.
Connor really
Ashton
wants
Brown
to stop.
holding centre forward well. Ooh,
that's a great stop.
That's a great stop. That's really good by Mitch Robbo there.
Makes Connor very happy, right? Because the deficit's only 2 right now. Very achievable to come back from, even in this quarter alone. However, if they get that extra one very late in the quarter, it makes it a bit more difficult.
We use the most of this, like we said, that little bit of luck. Now we've got to make the most of it.
Precisely.
So Danny Lawrence sits up out top. Ooh, good block by Corey Webber. See, like I was saying before, it's those unseen stats,
Yeah,
the hidden
precisely.
stats. So those blocks, goal assist, they're the key ones that that as a junior you've really got to be focusing on getting those.
Yeah, 100%. We might need to add a third member to the box to be a stat taker, just to give us a hand there, because there's a lot of them. But they are, as you said, the very important ones, especially goal assist, I find. It's typically the most overlooked and underappreciated in a way. Another very good save.
Put a little bit more pressure on
Always
that.
in a race.
Let him get these easy shots away. That's Corey Webber deep, gets the scrap. They made it too easy there.
Ashton Brown,
So goal number 2, Ashton Brown, but all the hard work there was done by Corey Webber.
100% hard sprint down to the corner
Hard
against the goalie.
sprint,
and
grabbed the scrap when
perfect
the
pass.
Tigers just kind of transitioned into attack, when they should grab that ball and then move forward. Make sure you got safety first.
Corey Webber and Ashton Brown have been playing together since they were about 13, I'd have to guess. So they've got that connection very, very settled together.
Yeah, they have, and I think both of them played for a number of years in the third grade, as I was sort of coming up. So I've got to play
Yes,
against
they
a
did.
couple of them. Both very good players.
Lost in the grand final, I believe, to...
Yeah, they might have lost a couple. Might have lost a couple.
I wonder who was in that team.
And if you're around, that team is playing tonight at 7:15 down here.
Good little plug.
Might not be as fast as this.
Especially with Connor in the water. Sorry. I can't talk. I really cannot talk.
So a couple of good exclusion down here. So Mitch Robbo's really injected himself into the game here. So out top, here he is. Got an exclusion. Oh, and the time just ran out. Did everything right there, but the time just ran
Did
out.
very
That's
well
that
to
new rule.
beat the
That's that 15
Precisely.
seconds in extra round, and now Sydney Uni's got another counter attack.
Like the flying subs, it's going to take a season or two to get completely used to
Yeah,
it
it
and
will.
engrave
Just
it
get used
completely
to
in your game. That's a kick out.
That's a kick out on. We don't have a number 16 on our
Yeah, I
card.
was a bit confused. Oh, Max Ryan.
Max Ryan. He's been a great addition to the club, Max.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's a double exclusion here on Simone. He can't
And a stop. That's
stop.
A very
So it's a
important
double
stop.
exclusion, and Billy Miller takes a shot when he can't, and it is Tigers' ball.
And that's something that really infuriates a lot of coaches, I feel like, having those extra man chances and sort of taking them a bit too early.
Yeah, well, it's a fine balance, isn't it? So you want to take if you've got the advantage, you want to be able to take it before the defence is set. But when it doesn't come off,
It looks very bad. It's a very high risk, high reward situation, I'd say.
So Parrish out top, with Miller putting pressure on him.
And now they're both going to go, so...
And another great block.
But
So that was
Nick Madden
Lewis-
covering well there for Parrish's shot.
That was Lewis Sorpin there. He came from deep to block that. Sydney Uni team has blocked really, really well
They
today.
have, yeah.
Tigers probably being a little bit one-dimensional in their shooting.
Oh, and that's a great... Oh, I thought that was a pretty good touch from
I thought it was a
Parrish,
good touch, but with the modern rules, when someone's inside and the ball comes in, it's a 5 metre every time.
Yeah, it's...
So they do really reward players that that get position.
Yeah.
So now you've got Billy Miller shaping up for the penalty here.
Is he taking his own 5?
No, I think that was from one of the players in the centre. So Billy will try a little trick shot here.
Maybe bottom left sweep again.
No, I think you were top right.
Oh, caught it.
Really strong penalty from Billy there. Ollie came out, put pressure on him. So you can hear the Sydney Uni goalkeeper putting on press. They really want to put pressure on here. Couple of goals. Now want to make sure that they really hammer that advantage. They can play that high press here. Like you were saying before, high risk, high reward. They can probably put a little bit more pressure on here, knowing that the Tigers are kind of searching for a goal. So they figure that they might get a couple of cheap turnovers here.
Oh, great pass.
Great pass in there, and that's got to be a penalty.
Yeah, 100%. He's got inside
Great work
water.
by Mitch Robbo. Really good pass by Danny Lawrence.
very good pass.
So Danny's on the other side of halfway and manages to put that in. And now Danny swims down to take the penalty.
It's kind of a good reward for the penalty assist, right? Get to take
It is,
the
and he's a
finishing
very. I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't want to put the
say
mocker on him, but he's a very, very good penalty
Oh,
taker.
no.
But look at the size of this Sydney Uni goalkeeper. He's got a big presence, big frame. Danny slots at bottom left. He's got such a deceptive shot. So phenomenal water polo shots aren't necessarily hard shots, but they're deceptive. And with that one, he made the goalkeeper, sent the goalkeeper one way, threw it bottom left the other.
Exactly, it's that flick of the wrist at the very end, right?
Really clever
so
shot.
Yeah.
Really clever shot. And you've mentioned it before with Ethan having that really strong forearm. Great players, while they've got great technique, like you look at the Pietro Figliolis, those type of players who have these great shooting action, but it's that wrist at the last minute that can be really deceptive for goalkeepers.
Yeah, cause a lot of trickery, right?
Yeah.
I believe the coach Connor Martin, he loves that shot. He, when training my team, probably had a little bit of a session where we just practiced trying to flick that wrist and move it away to trick the goalie.
Very good with the flick of the wrist, Connor.
Yeah.
So here, Tigers, big counter attack here.
Big moment.
Hughes back in the water.
It's going to be a kick out.
That's a kick out.
5.
Great kick out.
15, sorry.
Oh, did look like it. So Tigers have extra. And now double extra. So that's Drew McJanet. Bit unnecessary there. Oh, great goal. So Mitch Robbo, balk, made everyone come to him, wrap around Billy Miller and goal. Really good goal by Mitch Robbo there.
And that's a great example of that momentum shift, right? It was 7-3 a couple minutes ago, and last couple minutes of the game, it's back to 7-5. Just bringing it back that little bit to stay in it for the second half.
So yeah, we'd be pretty deep into the second quarter now. Must be close to the halftime break. And the Tigers really lifted in intensity in the last couple of minutes. They've really lifted. You can see that counter-attack there, a lot more intensity to it. And even here in this defence, there's a lot more movement, a lot more commitment to it. So leaving him to shoot, leaving Sam to shoot. That was great defence by Sam Hughes there.
Very good, moving between, filling in gaps. And
now
away on the counter as well.
So
just too long.
Unfortunately, that pass just not where it needed to be. But you mentioned it earlier in the call when Sam Hughes got 2 majors and he had to bring him out. So Sam's just come back into the game and caused a couple of big moments there.
Yeah, and see how they've shifted him to the outside as well, where he's a little bit less at risk of another major.
Billy, great pass there, and he'll be frustrated that his player couldn't convert that. He did everything right, made everyone jump. Again, that little flick of the wrist to the outside player, and they just couldn't quite score it. As we wind down this second quarter, Tigers lucky that they couldn't do that. So we go into this break 2 goals down. So Lions with a 2-goal advantage going into the halftime break.
Exactly right, 7-5 to end the half. It's been a very interesting game so far. A lot of opportunities, a lot of missed opportunities as well from both teams, respectively.
And which I think you see a little bit more, you definitely see more of that in this game when there's a lot more shots on goal. I think on average there's 10 extra shots per team per game. So you're seeing a lot more shots, but probably because of that extra attack then and you're being rushed in attack. So being rushed in attack, taking those extra shots.
Not as much time to make up your mind a little bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Like you only get a certain amount of chances, but you don't want to dump either because the pool's so much shorter.
Exactly. So even that dump means that then the team gets more of a time up in attack. So very great half of water polo. And the Tigers doing well to stay in it. I thought at times there Sydney Uni almost had the opportunities to kick out to a 3-4 goal lead, but the Tigers have kept it at 2. And we've seen throughout the year their back half is actually stronger than their front.
Yeah, right. I think their defence as well really stacked up together to make sure they could stay in this. Like a couple of really crucial stops, a double extra, a counter attack.
Yeah, so
great work from the goalie as well.
Good work from the goalkeeper, and I think what we saw then was, you mentioned it in the call, having better communication in defence. So a couple of times there early, we had players dropping back and leaving their top players with no pressure on them
Another Olympian in here.
And
What's
thankfully, we've just had Gavin Woods pop up to the commentary box. Come over here, Gav. Don't walk away. Don't walk away. Come over here. Come over here. Gav, how are you?
James, I'm not too bad, mate.
So,
happy to be down here at Dawn on a beautiful day, watching some
mate, isn't it
Polo.
absolutely fantastic down here?
Absolutely,
Mate, is there
mate.
anything better than playing down at Dawny of a Saturday afternoon, sun out?
No, mate, there isn't. It's be great to have a couple of beers. For some reason, our games at the end of the day, but apart from that, it's a
7
perfect
o'clock.
scenario.
So, have you been watching this game? Have you get down
have.
here since start? What do you made of it so far?
I think the boys look a little bit. I don't know whether the Balmain boys that is. They look a bit lethargic, maybe a bit tired after their last week in Perth.
Yep.
So hopefully they'll pick up a gear, I think, in the second half, mate, and
So-
make it a game.
Couple of great centre forward goals in the first half. You saw Simone with his couple of great goals, great movement outside. What do you want to see more of the Tigers of in this quarter?
Mate, I think, just sort of getting up there with a bit more time on the clock, I think, and spacing it out and, try and get into the centre and play
They
the centre
seem,
a bit
they seem a
more.
little bit rushed at times, don't they?
I think so, mate. I think they just take their time, patience, and,
Unreal.
How's that sound?
That sounds fantastic, Gav. Thank you for that. And,
No worries,
mate, you
guys.
can hang around if you want.
All
But,
good, mate. I'll
all
leave it
good.
to you.
Great
Gav,
to see
if
you.
you want a
and-
beer, I don't think anyone's going to stop you, mate.
Yeah, I think you'll be all right. I
No,
think you'll be all right. So, like Gav said, M3 is playing at 7:15 tonight. For those who want to come down and cheer on the more experienced team in the club.
Well, we've actually got two M3 teams. We have a less experienced one as well with a couple of younger
and they're
boys.
playing tonight as well, aren't they?
Yes, they are. You can come watch that at 6:15 p.m. I think.
6:15.
1 hour before.
Fantastic. Great day of polo down here. So this is the first game of a day. And I think we can't quite see from our commentary den the
Yeah, the swim
Swim
off.
off?
It looks like we've gone 3 for 3
looks
here.
like Tigers 3 from 3. The swim off has always been one of the most overrated plays in water polo. However, now, considering that it is a smaller field, there's more time to attack once you do actually win the swim off. So I might have to change my my call on that.
Yeah, it's fair call.
Straight away, we've seen Simone excluded on the 2, and Sydney Uni just so quick on that counter attack, straight in position, and they've got a number of opportunities there. And they put the ball across the 2 metre line, hoping for a 5, and just wasn't quite good enough that pass.
Yeah, the distance from the ball to the player really makes a big decision in the referee's mind as to
does.
whether.
Oh, that was a great cross
got a
pass and
cross.
goal by Sam Bloomfield. Great pass from the far side, but this defence here really needed to be better. With that long cross pass, Joel needed to be on his legs straight back and just block down the line, because the goalkeeper cannot cover that cross pass on that side, so defender really needs to get in position to do that.
Yeah, well, it all really stems from that early kick out as well, right? When you've got a full
it does.
25 seconds instead of 15 to.
It makes a
exclusion,
massive difference, doesn't it?
It does make a really big difference. You just
Oh,
very low.
oh.
Oh, wow. Fantastic.
The goalkeeper had come out there and actually thought that was a good play by Mitch, just to
Bravo,
put
it
him
was
back in his
good. I
corner.
thought it
Even
was
so
good,
now,
yeah.
even though that didn't go in and Sydney Uni counter attack down here, it will put the goalkeeper in a second mind. So now he's got to come back and defend well here. Tigers splitting their defence.
Front water pass.
Front water pass.
5 metre on Loz.
And that's the thing with these interpretation of the rule. Loz does nothing wrong, no hands on him, but because of the position that he's in, the referee has to give that as a penalty. Because of the position he's in. Doesn't matter what he does, he's not touching him because the ball's inside and he's in position. He has
Both
to give it.
elbows out of the water, essentially. Very,
That was a
very
strong
firm
shot.
top right, shot
From Louis Schuler.
Louis Schuler. That's his
third?
third of the game, yeah.
Third of the game.
And keep in mind, Simone is also into exclusions now, so that's two of our
centre back and centre forwards.
and centre forwards, yeah, both.
So that will change the way that Coach Martin's got to play. He's already had to play Danny Lawrence a little bit more at centre back. But Sam Hughes straight into centre forward, holds great position, and good, gets a really strong shot away. Really strong shot.
Use that claw grip a little bit there. To
Yeah,
kind of
use
get
the claw grip. I thought at one point he was going to try to pick the ball up with his left, and he forgot that he's actually a right-hander.
especially in a pool like Dawny's when the ball can get a bit grimy, a bit slimy, if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, sometimes it
using
can be
that
hard
claw.
to pick up here.
Yeah, so if you're
salt water.
short on time in the centre forward and you've got a player coming back, that claw grip can be very effective.
So you've got Sydney Uni with a lot of movement here, a lot of movement. So also Billy Miller with the shot from a long way out. Which,
Almost looks like Billy shot that for a corner.
I think he did. I think he did. It was a smart shot. Sort of bounced wide. And now he's got moving out. So it looks like here we're going to see some movement from the Sydney Uni number 3 position. 3 or 4. They created a lot of space. Ashton Brown's held really good position, but Danny Lawrence just swum around. See, doesn't panic. Doesn't get engaged with them. Doesn't. Yeah, well, for the people watching here, that's exactly the right way to play. Don't get engaged with it.
Yeah, no,
Swim around, hold position.
Especially when kickouts are a lot more common in these days, I'd say. Than,
they are. And they're
old
falling a lot more.
If you can keep out of a fight, you stay out of a fight.
Exactly.
Right? It's a smart thing to do.
Exactly. But see, don't know if cameras can pick it up, but his body position, his legs up on the surface, arm wide, and just moving him around.
See how far he swims around there? He was about a metre and a half away from him.
And I guess Danny can do that because he's got long limbs. So he can, if the ball comes there,
stick it on.
See, he's just directing the play around. Hold the ball there. That's good. You were saying that drop ball. There, a lot more movement in the Tigers' defence. By having the more movement in the Tigers' defence, it really meant that they could put pressure on the attackers. And in the end, we saw a drop ball.
100%. It's that grind again.
And now the Tigers were using the counter-attack to their advantage. Great ball into centre forward. Claw grip again, getting another great shot. Another great shot. Oh, and that's his third major. That's unfortunate. That did look like the centre-back just grabbed him and went underwater. And I thought the goalkeeper carrying on like a pork chop might have been a bit of a turnover there. But there's nothing more annoying, right?
Oh, no. It's happened to me that many times when I'm like, you just really strongly believe that you haven't done anything, but gets caught on your nose. And that's the sport, though.
Really good pass from Nick Hallam. Really take advantage of that extra man. So Connor here now trying to change the momentum of the game. So he's called a timeout. Hopefully now trying to really wrestle the momentum back to the Tigers here.
Yeah, and that's a good timeout call as well, right? Sort of slows down that momentum we keep bringing up. It just slows it down a bit, gives you a break, gives you some time to think.
Time to think, and now off here, Connor will probably do a special play. Let's see what he's got in his trick book.
What do we think's going to come from this? Have we got...
I reckon he'll probably try cross drive to open up either Ethan or Danny Lawrence. We've got a couple of different options there.
Yeah, a lot of options.
A lot of options.
Team, right? So many attacking forces.
As usual, Billy stopping to have a chat with referees.
Connor loves a good chat with the referee as well. I think it's good to build bonds with them. Not that it gets any bias in your way, but it's mutual respect.
It's a thin line. You've got to make sure you're showing respect, and sometimes just getting clarity on a. So here.
And as a ref myself, when I've refed in games, it's a very, very stressful job to do.
It's so
very
hard. And with this movement, so you've got second centre driving in. So Ethan in at centre forward, but Danny Lawrence out top.
Shot from Bebb, but gets it back.
Bebb gets it back.
Light foul, that's good.
It's okay. There it is. Still a lot of movement there. Bebb holding the ball up. Defence very deep. Danny Lawrence throws top right, and goalkeeper touches it over.
And on the corner, it resets to 15
seconds.
Yeah,
15 seconds.
So that's not a lot of time.
It's not, but it's also a decent amount. So you don't need to panic and don't need a quick shot. Probably don't need to go in that quickly.
That's going to be a kick out.
That's a kick out. So that's Ethan taking it. I thought it was on Jeremy Conti, but no, it wasn't.
Yeah, I thought it might have been as well.
Conti, I do say. Ball deep. Back out top. Oh,
very quick.
It's just not happening for Ethan today, is it? So he's
really
working as hard as he can in at centre forward, and even there, just the ball just didn't quite come off the hand as well as it often does for him.
Balmain
and Sydney Uni straight into this counter attack, and they've now got a 4-on-3 coming down.
Benny's covered hard.
Covered hard.
Hard to fault him on that.
And that's a big goal there by number 21, Lewis Sorkin.
Believe it or not, he used to play for Balmain
in
under 12s. It was in my team for, I think, Dawny's Carnival when we were about 11.
Local boy?
I'm not sure. I think he lives around the Newington area or Lewisham area, but ended up transferring to Sydney Uni pretty early on, and then been matching up against them since then. So
Slotted that one in nicely. Sydney Uni still playing that press, but Tigers driving in that second centre forward. This time Sam driving in deep. Oh, he's put it in
space on the
there.
left side, and the kicking. Oh,
That must have
sure
been
what
a
that
turnover
was.
on this side. I think
Yeah, the
on
right side.
on the left-hander's side. But they did everything right there. But I think
sort of got into a 2v2 situation over on that right-hand catcher's
yeah,
side,
and I
where
think
it's
that was. They
one
did everything
person in
right,
the
and that was
shot.
on the Canadian. So it put pressure on him and trying to get a couple of exclusions on him. Throws a heavy ball, this Louis Schuler, doesn't he? Oh, that's got to be.
Yeah.
Thought that was after the buzzer.
It was very close, very
close.
close.
And Tigers not quite getting down fast enough. But Ethan probably getting a little bit frustrated here and trying to create space for himself.
Yeah, it's interesting to see him play out top instead of in where Bevy's now on the driver's side. I mean, he can play both.
Play both, but here they've got to cover here. Got to cover.
And a 2 metre too.
So great save by goalkeeper there. Who again carrying on just a little bit. Ethan drives into centre forward. Beb comes around. Ooh.
And I think
that's,
might be the momentum the Tigers sort of need right
Yeah,
now.
that was a. I'm gonna say that's a lucky exclusion. That one. That ball came in pretty quick. Did great to drive in that centre forward position. Come on, we've got to do more here. Ethan's coming. Nah,
That's not what you like to do.
that's another coach killer coming inside the 2 metre on an exclusion.
Oh, that's,
and we've done
that's one of the
everything right.
worst.
Ethan had. So they started in traditional 4-2. Ethan had come out into a 3-3, and he was in the middle of the goals with 4 metres with no one on him. And we couldn't
then
quite
the
get him the
2
ball on
metre,
time.
Exactly. It's just very unfortunate, isn't it?
So we need those things to start going our way. So here's
Precisely,
zoning.
and it hurts not only as a coach but a player too, especially
Exactly.
knowing that
Exactly, knowing you've got to
made
come
that
back and knowing that
mistake.
as soon
Yeah.
as there's a turnover, the Sydney Uni team's going to come down. But
Exactly,
Look,
if
look at the
anyone's
intensity the Sydney Uni team defends. Like, look at the whitewash around them as they're coming back in cover defence. Now that puts a lot of pressure on the Tigers in their attack because we're outnumbered.
yeah, for
And
sure.
I
They
think
take
that
a
was
lot of
another
pride
shot
in
by
this
Beb,
one.
trying to keep this goalkeeper back in his cage so he doesn't sneak out and put pressure on the defence. But at the moment, Bay's been up to it.
Yeah, he's had a couple of steals actually rushing off the line.
He has. He puts a lot of pressure on by coming out. So it means that they can play that high press in front. Here's this cross pass over here. Got to be careful of that. Good defence by. Is that Ben Lucas?
And at first glance, it looks like a 2 metre as well, right? But because that outside player is taking it in
Again, that's
first,
another rule development that I really, really like.
Yeah,
the fact
I
that you can go right to the goal line outside of 2 metres from the goals. So here, Balmain kind of counter-attacking, out top to Ethan.
And look,
He
they're
gets a
just
foul,
straight
he's
on
gonna
him,
try-
aren't they?
Yeah, it
They've,
looks
they've
quite
done their
one-dimensional at
research
the
from
moment.
last game, it seems like.
Ooh.
Interesting from
And
Sim.
that's a helicopter from out top and ball in
Bravo,
head.
sorry.
And again, there's another offensive turnover from the Tigers.
That's why we've got those caps on our ears as well, right?
Yeah,
Big
it is.
hits
To
like
make
that.
sure hits like that,
Protection.
and to make sure there's no lack of a stray hand. Now Tigers under pressure here in defence, even though they've had a flying change. Got Max Ryan coming back. Sam's out top. He needs to hit that and go, Sam. Hit it
Loz
and
is
go.
in
Get it
between
and
them.
go. Gotta
He's
go.
got space, but a good cover
Great
from
defence by, I think it was blocked by Max Ryan there.
It was, yeah.
Great covering block. But I really would have liked to see Sam, Danny and Ethan counter-attacking here. Putting pressure on them and going the other way. Great pass up the field. We're in early, now we need someone at centre. Pretty deep into the third here, and we have Uni up by 4 now.
A bit more than 4, actually. It is,
Like we said, momentum is a big part of this.
I firmly believe that as well.
So Tigers are definitely not out of this, but they need to make sure they really lock their defence on here and then go into counter-attack. They've let them score too many easy counter-attack and easy isolated goals here.
That's the thing with Uni, right? If you make those silly mistakes we were talking about earlier, like the 2 metre, they've counted off an extra man essentially.
And again there, just not putting pressure on the outside, so it was an easy pass. And then Louis Shaw, he's got a heavy shot.
He does.
When he gets he got the ball off the hand really well there, but I guess the only way to describe that is heavy. Like some players, like we were talking about before with the deceptive shot, but he's got a...
Because some players like Ethan, I would say he has more of a light shot. He sort of flicks it and it just flies, whereas that's very heavy. You can see the big sort of wind up, which still gets a lot of power. And that's going to end off the third quarter there, I think.
So that's probably not the way that the Tigers wanted to finish off the third quarter. And especially with that little time on the clock, Coach Martin would be really frustrated by that because there was no point in actually counter-attacking there. They really should have locked that down.
Yeah, it's better to sort of save the energy and go really, really hard in the fourth to try and make up for this. As it comes to 12-5 at the end of
So 12-5 and a number of Tigers in foul trouble. So obviously we have Sam Hughes out on 3 and Simone on 2. Whereas Sydney Uni have only got Lewis Sorpin on 2.
There could be more as well, but yeah, Lewis Sorpin is definitely on 2.
Could be more, but so far it hasn't been... exclusions haven't played a major part of this game.
I'd agree with you there. I don't think there's been too many extra man goals. There's been a lot of extra mans, however, both teams have sort of struggled to capitalise on it a fair bit, I think. Just hitting those inside posts and back out, bar off. Woodwork's taken a bit of a beating today, to be honest.
Yeah, it certainly has. And looking over at the Balmain team talk here, Coach Martin he's frustrated. He's really frustrated. You can see that he really wants the team to lift, and so they're not quite delivering what they need to here. Not putting the pressure on in counter-attack and letting them have these easy defences.
Yeah, easy sort of goals. I mean, in the first quarter, it was looking... first 2 quarters even, like, the defence was really strong and sort of riling up together to get after it, but in that third quarter, I guess they're very long quarters and very tired from last week as well, but it sort of just fizzles out a little bit.
Yeah, and we said it at the start, it was going to come down to composure in attack, or composure in the game. And I just think the Tigers probably haven't had that composure in attack, which has meant this really strong Sydney Uni counter-attack has been able to take advantage of it. By having shots under pressure, it's meant that they've been able to counter-attack easily and they're getting a lot of space. And we're not giving our team support around the perimeter when those players are taking shots.
Yeah, and it's very hard with the heavy press as well. So our very good shooters like Ethan Parrish are under a lot more pressure and have a lot more arms ready to go. Like Sydney Uni's definitely done their research on this and they're very, very well prepared. But let's hope Balmain
probably also got to look at Balmain had a pretty heavy road trip last week. So Gav mentioned it before at the halftime break. They were over in Perth, 4 games in Perth. They managed to get UWA, the number 1 team, but it's got to take it out of you. 4 games in 4 days. And now that road trip's a really hard road trip. And now we've seen Sydney Uni win the swim, and straight away, Ethan Parrish the Tigers' number 2, has moved up into attack to really put pressure on this Sydney Uni team, knowing that as soon as they lose the ball, they're going to be playing one-on-one at the other end with our best player, number 1 player.
And players are allowed to do this in situations like this when you want the win and you're down by an amount of goals. Like, this is Connor Martin's decision right here. This is not
Connor's
the player's
definitely
decision.
told him this isn't what you would call a cherry picking. This is definitely a tactic to go forward.
100%.
But it does mean we're now playing 4-on-2, which does make for a pretty interesting water polo. So it means that the Tigers' defence needs to be really clever here. Because again, Billy Miller just found on the 5 or 6 metre, but then got the ball live.
Have you ever played a game old school? Three attackers, 3 defenders?
Not deliberately. I think some of our third grade games end up like that, but it's not by design.
Well, not too long ago, I was playing a second grade game against Sydney Uni at uni, and we only had 1 sub for the game. And as we know, they're such a strong swimming team. They've got so fast, just so fast. If we were trying to keep up with them all game for 4 quarters, we'd be gassed. Yeah. So our coach, I think it might have been Lorenzo, I don't think it was Connor, I think it was Lorenzo, told us to play 3 attackers, go up, and 3 people stay back. And going into the last quarter, it was a 1 goal difference.
And you're right, sometimes with water polo and any sport, you've just got to look at it from a different angle.
Very close there.
Ethan's it's not his day today.
It is
He's
not his
in
day,
at centre forward there, holds position, great ball in. And we've got to make sure here we don't just let this game sort of go into a complete scrap. We've got to make sure that we defend well here and go into counter-attack.
And that's what Connor would have been saying as well, right? Like, don't
So
look
good
at the score.
steal there by Mitch Robbo. A couple of hands on him by the defence. Good exclusion. Now let's get down the pool. Let's just start getting some goals back on the board here. So it was number 22, Sam Bloomfield, excluded. And Danny Lawrence, cross pass to Ethan and goal down there. So goal from the number 3 position. So he gets one back, but that's probably not one of Ethan's trademark goals.
No, definitely not. It's usually coming from out the top. Very good shot, or just sliding and taking that space and across pass is what you typically see, but goal's a goal, he gets one.
Yeah, and now here, the Tigers need to make sure they get something out of this game. So down by a few, yes, they want to jag goals and come back into this, but they've got to make sure that they're still getting. So they can't just worry about just those one-off goals. They've got to think about how do they work together to think of ways to get on top of this Sydney Uni team should they meet them again come playoffs this year.
Exactly, and we see push off there from 6.
But again, great tussling at centre back and great play by Joel Smith.
You can also view it as
Easy
a
ball up,
Parrish and a lob.
and lob. And this one,
This goalie's legs.
Day's been good. Day's been good.
He's not really falling for the lob, is he? We've had a couple goes on him, but
No, he's
they're not dropping.
played well.
And Joe, as I was saying, you can also look at it as an opportunity to try something new and try out some new tactics, like what we can see from Ethan right now, staying up there. Or even play some players that usually wouldn't play as much.
Here, Tigers putting pressure on. Counter attack here. They've got to get the ball up to Smith. Oh, that's lazy.
Oh, that is very unfortunate. Very lazy.
That's frustrating. There, he's got to take the time, pass the ball up, put it on his hand. I know he's trying to get the ball off quickly, but
And I know Sydney Uni are fast, but they're not that fast. Like Joel had about 5
Gotta
meters.
give him space
5
there, and
meter
that's
rows.
great save by Ollie. Now get the ball up, take
Now
your
back
time
up
up
again.
here. Take your time, ball to the goalkeeper, play it up.
To Nick Madden.
So Nick Madden coming down. He's got to make him make a decision. Come on, we've got to play with the eyes up.
Oh, geez, someone's legs there.
So Nick Madden's got to play with eyes up there, play with intent, move the ball down. As soon as the player comes to him, then put it on Ethan's hand so he doesn't rush a shot like that.
Yeah, exactly. He had maybe one balk, got a hand on him, and then ripped it just wide of the goal, didn't he?
Tigers playing 4-on-4 down here, tied on Billy Miller. Billy just holds the ball up, waits for Louis, great ball in, and there's an exclusion.
That's a red
That's
card?
a red card to the number 6, who shows
that
where
Adrian
he's
Red-
being held. That is Adrian. Again, I think everyone's just getting a little bit frustrated here. And again, with these new rules, you do get frustrated because it's moving fast. It's no excuse for poor behaviour, but
Do we know if that was brutality? Or?
I'm not sure what it was.
Yeah, we couldn't get a great view from up where we are,
Yeah,
just
was
the
it?
short side, but that will also
Tigers
mean a
defend
yellow for
that
Connor
well,
Martin.
and now going to counter attack and still playing that one-on-one with Ethan.
And we
up
do
top.
have a counter. We've
He's got ball in the hand, but Ethan's just trying to play one-on-one here, which probably isn't a bad thing.
He sees Nick, but it might be a bit too late. He's seeing Uni retract.
Ball in deep, exclusion on Sydney Uni number 19, Corey Webber.
And that's
Tigers
gonna be
looking for a
his
quick
second
goal
of the
here. Ooh. There it was, that flick of the wrist, but
Yeah,
it's just not
very-
happening. It's just not happening today for Ethan, is
Not
it?
flying as quick as it normally does.
Not flying off here. Now we've got 2 Tigers players just sitting up on the opposition 2 or 3 metre line. Miller controls the ball. Can't be much longer left in the game.
Yeah, I don't think so. Probably back
change
into
of
the
possession.
fourth quarter.
Sydney Uni just kind of going through the motions here.
Once Robbo, the pop over.
Robbo,
perhaps?
pop over.
Oh, he knew it was there.
He knew it was there. He
had
looked
his head
for
under
him,
the water when he
but
did.
Canadian international just a bit too good. Knew where the ball was coming. Sydney Uni coming down, another counter attack. Nick's got to work a little bit harder there. Timed his retreat to perfection there. He's got to get the ball up early. 3 on 2. Another lazy
We
pass.
get another chance here.
Another chance here.
I think Carl's just going to take it with a goal. Yeah.
And Bay saves another one and his trademark carry on after it.
Really digging into this guy.
Great pass into centre forward, and eventually a great goal. Not quite sure what happened there. The ball seemed to go underwater. Everyone seemed to go underwater. No kick out and a goal in the end to Nick Hallam, number 6.
And a lot of substitutions here. Get some fresh
Kind
names
of
in.
really rolling the changes here. I think we've done 6 in, 6 out. So now in terms of the Grant Sims Cup, which is an aggregate between both home and away and all games today, each goal does count in terms of how many of the Tigers can get back here. It does seem like the rest of the club's going to have to work pretty hard.
Well, it was a 1 goal difference last time.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Going to need a lot of momentum if we want to try and catch up there for the Grant Sims Cup. But
we've seen here, and that's
another
exclusion from Ethan. He hasn't stopped working hard in at centre forward there. Another exclusion. Look for him on the post there. Max, cross pass, over to Ben, fumble. I just feel
or just missed.
that shot's just wide. And still, last couple of attacks of the game, you see the Sydney Uni team going into counter attack. A couple of these young players probably trying to impress.
Perhaps, yeah. But some of them have been here for a while. I remember I was here when Ashton Brown made his debut last year. So.
But yeah, I think he's been really good. Sydney Uni centre forwards have held position really well.
Drawn the kickouts well too.
They've drawn the kickouts really well and then converted them reasonably well. But there he is, creating space for himself and looking over there. But really, you've got to say that it's Sydney Uni's press and counter-attack that has been the difference today.
100%, I
it's
agree with you.
Forced the Tigers into rushing their attack, and they've converted on it. There, Ethan looking for a little chip and chase, which is nullified by the Sydney Uni defence. Shaping up to be, although this result hasn't gone our way, it is looking like a fantastic day down the pool there. So anyone who's watching it in the area, quite a crowd down here, great atmosphere. Probably been a little bit quieter than we would like it to be because of the difference in score here. So Tigers supporters have been pretty quiet, but if you do look around, there is a number of them here.
Yeah, but they're all here for the next game. Just around the corner, the AWL women's.
The women's game should be an absolute cracker as well.
Oh, 100%. It's going to be a 5 metre on 20
So I think here we've got a 5
metre.
metre.
He'll be rolled, Lewis Sorpin.
So that will be his 3rd. Let's see how Ethan scores here. But you're right, in the women's game, it should be an absolute cracker. And there is some phenomenally talented athletes in this next game. A number of Olympians in the team, in both teams.
Number of new imports as well.
A number of new imports.
A lot of imports this year.
And just looking at the Sydney Uni team with the Espar girls, who are phenomenal talents. And that was Max Ryan missing that penalty.
I think that's going to end the game.
Lou Schuler holds the ball for what will probably be one of the last attacks of the game. Ashton Brown still holding position.
Yeah, it's been good. Two goals, I believe, today.
So Sam Bloomfield, what's his background?
Sam Bloomfield, the name is very, very, very familiar. I believe is he an 07 boy? Oh, sorry, 05? Might have grown up in the ranks with Benny Lucas.
Yeah, right. It's been quite good today. He's held the ball well out top. He's drived in second centre forward.
And that's going to do it.
And that's going to do it. So what's the final damage?
From what I've tallied here, it's going to be 6 goals for Balmain to Uni's 13, which is a goal difference of 7.
So 13-6. So a bit of work to do in the second half. Look, a high quality game, especially the first half of that game when it was really close. Sydney Uni, obviously the stronger team, and like we just said, I think it's that pressure that they put into attack, into their defence. So that really high press going into counter attack.
Yeah,
so,
I mean, we knew it was coming. It's just unfortunate that the Balmain boys couldn't stop it. Really,
couldn't stop it. And I think, like we said at the start, it's about composure. They didn't show composure in the attack, which meant that Sydney were able to use their counter attack to such success. And you saw a number of scorers across the field. But
regardless,
Sydney,
good game. Very
good game.
to watch.
Some really good defence. At times, really good defence from both teams. 13-6 is probably one of the lowest scoring games of this season.
Yeah, I'd have to agree. We've seen games like 19-8.
Yeah,
almost
19-18. A lot of goals scored, and that's with the change in rules and the change in structure. So, final wrap up here on the men's game is 13-6 to the Sydney Uni Lions. We're going to take a quick break now before we do the preview for the women's game, which is shaping up to be an absolute cracker. So thank you everyone for tuning in to the men's game, and please stick around for the women's game, which will start in about 10 minutes.
Thank you for having me, James. I have to unfortunately run off now. I can't make it for the women's. Would have loved to be here and keep commentating with you, but it's been very good.
Excellent.
And thanks for having me.
Mate, thank you very much. You've been awesome.
Awesome.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Hello and welcome back to the home of Inner West Water Polo, the Dawn Fraser Baths, on what is a cracking Saturday afternoon. We're about to start the second game of the Balmain Sydney Uni fixtures. First game, Tigers didn't have the result they wanted in the men's game, going down, I think it was 13-6. With us here quickly before we dive into the girls' game is men's coach, Connor Martin. Connor, not the result you're hoping for there. Talk us through, how do you think the game played out and what kind of happened there?
Yeah, I just think physically and mentally we weren't there today. Really
hard road trip over to Perth last week. What impact did that kind of have on the team?
Yeah, I mean, so a couple of really close games over in Perth, and obviously the travel and 4 games back to back is physically, I think it's the most intense 4 days of water polo you can have. Then obviously that impacts your training during the week. So Monday night off, and then we were meant to train here on Tuesday, but the rain closed the pool, so we only had the one session. And I think that showed.
It meant that attack probably wasn't quite where you needed it to be, which really enabled Sydney Uni's strength is their counter-attack.
Yeah.
They're high press in their counter-attack, and if you're not attacking as well as you kind of like, or don't have that effect in attack, it just makes their counter-attack so effective, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Sydney Uni want to press, they want to play high, and they want to put you under pressure when you miss a shot. So we're probably fortunate not to be down a few very, very early. The first 3 or 4 minutes we were shooting with 12 seconds to go and getting in 3-on-2 and 4-on-3 defensive positions, but scrambling okay. You can only scramble for so long though. And I think
it seemed that way, but it also seemed that when Roro injected himself in the game in probably, I think it was more the third quarter, back of the second into the third when he was really driving here, that energy really had an impact on the team, but it just wasn't sort of sustained across the board in attack, was it?
No, that's it. And I think our quality of shooting today was, I think, by far the worst we've had this season.
Well, on average, you're probably scoring between 12 and 16 goals, right? And today 6. Is that the lowest you've scored in a game so far this year?
By far the lowest we've scored. Game, I think we lost 9-8 on Sunday to Freo, but that can somewhat be justified by being 18 hours after.
Fourth game in 4 days. With these new rules, they're having an impact. It's a more physical game. There's a lot, both physically and mentally, I think.
Yeah. I mean, interestingly, I didn't think when I read the rules, I didn't think it would be good for water polo. But I think objectively, when I remove the emotion of my games, I actually really like the style of water polo.
Watching it, I'm absolutely loving that.
Yeah.
So, I know you've got a lot to do with the team, so thank you very much for taking a moment to have a chat with us. Good luck in your game tonight. It's got a bit of coverage so far on the call to date.
Nice.
Good luck. Alec gave you a couple of points of advice throughout. But thank you very much for joining us, and good luck with the rest of the season.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you. So that was Connor Martin, coach of the men's Balmain National League team. So in commentary right now, I have Megan Miranda with me, who is currently, I gave her a stat sheet, which she didn't like, so she's making up her own stat sheet. But quickly, we'll dive through the teams. So Sydney Uni and Balmain is going to be an absolutely cracking game. Really close last time. Phenomenal players across both teams. Of the S-Bars playing with the Sydney Uni team, with the Balmain team, you've got the 3 Olympians. You've got Bronwyn Knox, Sienna Hearn, and of course Jen in goals. So with those 3, we should be seeing really great defence, great defensive structure, which will probably set the benchmark for what their game looks like.
I think also with these 2 teams, I know at least with Balmain and our training, every time we match up with Sydney Uni, it's always a very fast-paced game. Lots of swimming and just getting really right into it from the get-go. And
that's what we love to see. And I think the new rules don't have as big an impact with the on the men's game, but at the same time it does make for a fast game. And straight away, ball into centre forward, defenders coming back and into an exclusion. So with the new rules with the girls means they do only have the 15 seconds for attack, which means that those first couple of seconds are really critical. But look at that ball movement from Sydney Uni women. Great ball movement either side, ball on the post, and against any other goalkeeper, that's a goal, right? But Jen manages to pull that one out off the goal line, and Tigers go straight into counter-attack. I love this energy straight into counter-attack. So Sienna Hearn, Olympian, flying down on the outside. Gets the ball live. Balmain knocks out top and just floats the ball top corner. What a goal. She makes it look too easy. It looked like just balk, no one's coming towards her, places the ball top corner, no one moves.
All of us girls, it's quite a young team, Balmain, at the moment, and just in awe with Bronwyn. She's such a wealth of knowledge, and it's just great to see her calmness and composure in the gameplay as well.
And that composure, I think, is so key. We talked about a lot in the men's game. The teams that have that composure are the ones that end up on top. And just there, you saw it perfectly. She was holding the ball out top. They came back off her, balk. No one came to her, threw the ball top corner, and now she's gone straight into centre back to call this defence.
Bit of a skip
And the
pass
ball
there.
skip pass. Skip pass that was from Keisha Gophers, another one of the Olympians playing.
There really just is so much experience in this pool at the moment. It's going to be a great game to watch.
Isn't it amazing? Like the talent on both sides of the pool. So the experience plus also these juniors coming through. Phenomenal to see.
A little bit of an overpass there. Ball back to Sydney Uni.
Back to Sydney Union. Somewhat straight into counter-attack. Talking about the experience in the youth, and I think the Balmain team's got a great blend of that at the moment, don't they? They've got the experience that we just spoke about, but even in that experience, you got Sienna Hearn, she's only, 19?
22.
22, yep, okay. Check my stats before I say it. But a young, phenomenal player coming
I
through.
should take that as a compliment. So
I'll leave the stats to you going forward.
a little bit of insider knowledge there.
Yeah, there you go. But so you've got that experience, and then you've got these great younger players coming through. But again, Sienna just holds the ball up and plays the ball into Katie at centre forward and earns the exclusion. And straight away, a lot of ball movement here. So it's exclusion on the number 8, Katie McGinty.
She's a New Zealander coming.
Got a couple of New Zealanders playing
Yeah.
in both teams this year, don't we?
Yeah, we've got Emerson Steeris, number 22. She's young coming through as well, so it's again adds to the dimension of the team, which is great.
Yeah, a couple of new faces in the Tigers team this year, aren't there? So Emerson, Bianca, the Italian.
Yes.
Obviously Bronwyn, new to the team. Not new to the comp, but new to the team.
Taylor Dawkins as well. She's come in from Adelaide. As I've said that, Taylor's just been...
But that's the Espar sisters working together on that side. Just working together off the ball. Now she comes to the middle, and again, beautifully poised, plays the ball onto the 2 metre line, slots the ball in. It's that composure that we see them playing with. I think Balmain did the right thing moving out to her, but with great players, you've got to look at what's going on around. You've got to make sure you're not just focusing on the great player, you've got to see where they're looking, where they're scanning and getting the ball to. So that brings the score back to even.
Yeah, that's what I've got. 1-1.
Well, you should see this phenomenal stat sheet that Ian's just knocked up here. Didn't like the one that I had, and she's made her own.
Whole bunch of highlighter and red pen going on.
Yep, perfect for what you need.
Gets the job done.
Sunny day down here at Dawning. Great movement down this side of the pool, picks and screens. Ball into centre forward has to be better. Centre forward holding position, doing a great job of holding position there. That ball's got to be on the money. And because it isn't, Sydney Uni's gone into a counter-attack. Swims down. Solid defence. Got in. Oh, no.
Oh, they called it a
That's a
5.
penalty. Because she's coming on the inside there, that does mean it needs to be an exclusion. With the new rules, as soon as a player's inside, it needs to be an exclusion. So this should be a good contest. You've got Annie Espar up against Jen Longman. Jen had great success at the Olympics in penalty shootouts. Let's see if she can bring that to the Baths today.
Oh,
She did. That just missed wide. See, that's the pressure of a great goalkeeper.
Well, Jen is she's our specialty penalty goalkeeper.
She did such a cracking job at the Olympics,
It was
didn't
incredible.
she? Great pass there by Sienna. Great vision to pass the ball deep. Sydney Uni playing almost like a half M zone. They played a successful M zone when they beat the Tigers at Sydney Uni not long ago. But
Wow.
you just can't leave Bronwyn
Here she
knocks in
goes.
5 metres. But that is the perfect way to break up the zone. Get the ball, first of all, attract the defence over to the opposite side of the field, hold the ball up, get them moving, play the ball deep, drive onto the money, ball in the hand, goal.
She was a great lean to the shot as well to beat the blockers, and obviously a bounce bar down always helps.
It does help, but to get in that position, to be able to move the ball, move herself into that position on her legs, really hard to do. Tigers into a press, holding position, with Indy Smith at centre back. Here she's holding. I'd like to see her probably push off and move around to create that, give herself some space. And Tigers straight into counter attack.
It's a good block there from Sienna Hearn.
It's good defence by Keisha on Lily. She worked really hard there to get position and eventually got the exclusion. So the Dunn sisters really bringing a lot of energy into this team, and unfortunately a bad pass there, which with the modern rules of that 15 seconds in every attack, it means that you can't have a bad pass. Sydney Uni counter attack. And at the exclusion.
Number 20.
Let's see what they do here.
Sophie Pevers.
Sophie Pevers. Ball deep, moving around a traditional 4-2. Looks like they might try and play it onto the post.
So second goal.
They made
for the
that
game.
look really easy, didn't they? So that was number 5, Nancy Lee.
Score sitting at 2 a pop.
They made that look a little bit easy, didn't they, the Sydney Uni? It was great ball movement and great movement. So rather than staying on the 4-2, the 2 posts sort of popped out to create more space. But as soon as Annie gets the ball, you need to rush her. So it meant that she just holds the ball up and again just looks for the free person.
Until the 3 posts became available. I love extra man because I find that everyone plays, there's only a certain number of plays that are going around, but it always comes off looking amazing.
But nothing beats great ball movement, does it?
No.
Be able to move the ball, keep the ball dry, slide into position. And you see with a lot of holding. It's unlucky. They got the ball into centre forward, and I thought Sophie was going to be able to get a little backhand away there.
Just a little half turn to get around.
A little half turn, got the ball,
Yeah.
a little claw grip on it.
Soph's only young as well,
I
coming
don't
through.
think you're going to. If they keep trying lobs from 8 metres in the middle of the goal against Jen, I don't think you're going to have too much success with that. Another great counter attack down by Sienna. Pulls inside. That's unlucky that that's a turnaround. But gee, that's a strong attack. Gee, that's strong because you think when she's doing that in the Olympics with bigger, stronger players, that's a goal.
Oh, yeah,
Like that's a
sure.
goal any day of the week.
I guess also we get the heightened angle here where we can see a little
We
bit-
do. We
little
can
bit
see
more.
that. Like, it did look like she was holding, but that's part of the modern game at times.
What I really liked about that attack was, I'll just let this play out.
Let this play out. Again, the S-bar, Annie just holding position on 5 or 6 metres, hoping to get a late foul. Good ball into her.
It's good help
That's
there
good
from
defence,
Zoe Thomas.
really good defence.
Let's drive through
Nice drive through,
on the 6 side.
but Indy needs to move into a better position here, stronger position.
Oh,
That's a great play in centre forward. Great play in centre forward. Great ball in from Sienna. And Sophie did remarkably well with pressure coming back on her to get the ball and turn inside.
couldn't see exactly who that was on.
No, I didn't see who actually that exclusion was on. So you got Sienna taking the penalty.
I think.
Again, had great success at the Olympics taking penalties.
Oh, brilliant save there from Izzy.
Brilliant save by the goalkeeper. Izzy Pant with a great save. So Tigers setting up here with Lily Dunn with a great drive. And that's the second exclusion she's gotten quick turn in that corner, so they've gone into a 3-3 setup. Quick ball movement. Indy out top, holding the ball. I think that might have got a hand off one of them. She has been counter-attacked on and excluded.
Lily's just been, kicked out down the other end.
I think that was Indy. After that shot, I think that was not a great passage of play. And now with the penalty.
Yeah, it was. I think they got a bit confused. Indy thought it was her, but it was...
There's been a couple of numbers called, one by each referee, which probably caused a little bit of confusion. So the referee's going to have a quick chat about this one. But yeah, shooting from the point position and that extra man is probably where Sydney Uni want them to shoot from, right? So they had a number of hands back. We've probably got to see a little bit more movement in attack there, right?
I think it's also, something a bit different to see with all the previous games. I don't think Balmain's really played a 3-3 attack before, so not if this is something new that they're incorporating at the moment, but I do agree you need to work it around a little bit more to beat the defence or just get them going a bit more.
I think we're seeing a lot more 3-3 with the introduction of only 15 seconds on an attack. It means that you don't have time to go into a 4-2 and then play. So you start in your 3-3 and then move into that position. So the referees here, I'm not quite sure
They've decided,
what they've decided on.
Indy Smith's taking the exclusion. And
So she's taking the exclusion, but it doesn't look like it's going to be a penalty. So just with the exclusion, and they've gone with a 3-3 setup. We're sliding in, creating space. Annie out top. But you're right, that movement just makes the defence have to change. I'm saying it's almost that extra man of attack and defence. It's almost like chess, isn't it? With those different positions, but strong ball movement, sliding off the ball, opening it up.
moves and counter moves.
Tigers' counter-attack's been good so far. It's put a lot of pressure on them. That's where they've probably got their results. There's a rogue...
Attempted a lob.
Yeah, well, there was a rogue clock that went off and there wasn't long left. That was a quick quarter of water polo. So quick score check, 2-2.
2-2, yeah.
So 2-2 at the end of the first quarter. And both teams having opportunities there.
Well, we've seen 2 penalties that have been saved with great goalkeeper work there. A couple of extra mans going.
Couple of extra man. You've seen Sydney Uni really playing to their strengths. So with the S-Bar girls creating space and getting a lot of movement, and Balmain really relying on that rock-solid defence and to counter-attack. What do you think the two teams need to do here to get an advantage?
Oh wow, okay.
Don't mean to put you on the spot or anything.
Mine's gone blank.
Yeah.
No, I think just attack-wise for Balmain, they just need to keep the communication up. As we were talking about, just moving the ball quickly and getting things going and moving into the space. We just want to make sure it's done cohesively. So if one person is going, everyone else notices that they are moving and can play with that. And I think, honestly, probably a similar thing with Sydney Uni, just really pushing through. I think a lot of the time we see the drives that are going through, and then people kind of scrambling to reset and move out, and then move the mushroom around. So if we can get that a little bit more seamless, which I know both of these teams can do.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the Sydney Uni team maintain that almost like a half M zone. They seem to be pressing on the right-handers side of the field to nullify the Tigers' great shooting on this side, and almost having that one drop back and splitting in between. So if they continue to do that, then you'd hope that Balmain use their counter-attack and then use the time to break that up. They're doing some great picks and screens and drives on the right-hander side to keep that element of the attack busy, but they're probably going to have to do more on that other side. They've had the 2 goals have come from one goal and the penalty have come from that drive and movement on that side, but we probably need to see more of that, don't we?
I agree, yeah. I think it also depends each play of where the 2 great and very talented centre forwards set up. So if whether they're facing a 3-4 side or the 1-6 side, and kind of how we play around that, because one of the worst things is just to drive and sit in front of an open centre forward.
Yeah. And it's looking like both goalkeepers are playing really, really well. So but sitting static, walking and shooting, it's not going to get you the result you need, is it?
No. They're reading the play well, which which is good to see.
But to break that up, like to see more movement, right? Because if the goalkeepers do have the ball coming from the channel where I know it's coming from, and don't get me wrong, both teams are blocking really, really well, which is great to see. We talk a lot about the hidden stats. So blocking, the assist, goal assist, goal assist, they're key. Like we laugh and chuckle about it, but they're so important. So Balmain starting with the press and now dropping back.
Some clock troubles.
Some clock trouble. Thankfully, Balmain's put all the technology into us up here. Clock's having a little bit of trouble. Thankfully, our stream is going perfectly, isn't it, boys? Yep, excellent.
Got the thumbs up there.
Yep, producers over here telling us it's going remarkably. So yeah, referees important here in communicating what's going on, which they're doing right under us.
Yeah, can't quite hear from up here. The wind's coming through. So we started back up again.
So start back up. A lot of movement off the start.
Heavy press there.
Oh. I was unlucky. I thought that was a perfect bit of defence. Obviously, referee saying something on that.
Great save
And
there.
Sydney
Jen
Uni
Longman.
taking their opportunity in, taking the shot. Acacia Gophers, but Jen Longman definitely up to the challenge.
Looking for the quick extra man there.
But you're right, defence not set, taking the quick shot. But Tigers moving, putting a lot of pressure on this ball. But by putting pressure on the ball, it is opening up the posts. So if Sydney Uni are smart here, they will be able to open up and put on the posts.
Back to even, see what they can.
But referee saying there's a little bit too vigorous there in that defence. Another exclusion, this time on Zoe Thomas. Another quick shot, which the Tigers were up for the challenge. And Lily Dunn scrapping the ball really, really well there. Now going up into counter-attack. Really evenly matched game so far, isn't it?
It's a little bit more like an all-back they're doing. They're all just slightly off their,
Yeah, it does,
off their
doesn't it?
players.
Obviously paying a lot of respect to these centre forwards.
Very much so.
Now Acacia getting position and saying up into position. But that,
It's that pass.
unfortunately that pass wasn't good, but that was a great cross pass in, cross pass across, great movement to get free and get the ball in.
I think one thing
But
that
that final pass has to be better.
I think both of these teams are really focusing on. I know it's one thing that we have probably Coach Harry Sanderson quoted to say is keep the ball alive, keep the ball moving.
It's a really good point. Got to keep it alive and keep it moving and be dangerous with it. Like here, look at the goals. Great drive by Acacia and earns the exclusion. Ooh. It's aggressive. And Sydney Uni just putting the ball out. A little bit of heat coming into the game there. Tigers into counter-attack. Haven't seen too much of Bianca so far this game, have we?
No, well, to be fair, there have only been 2 goals each.
2 goals each, not much of a chance to... And we haven't seen too much of the flying subs.
I don't know, well, as we say that, are they hopping into...
Yeah.
Of course, that's the way it goes.
Must be Coach Nicholson listening to us. That's a good ball into centre forward, but the Tigers, really strong defence, coming back.
Crash back.
Centre back holding position and defensive crashing back and stealing the ball. So even though it was a good pass into centre forward, holding position, defence coming back and stealing it. Coach Harry wanting the players to go through there, because by not going through, they've got that really solid defence. Now they're playing almost 2 back, but great pass in, and great shot, unfortunately hits the crossbar. Good pass in and strong shot by Sophie Pethers. But Sydney Uni straight into a counter-attack. Good cross pass over to Clara Espar, who holds the ball, now looks for a sister in the middle. It's interesting where Annie holds position. She always sits on that sort of 5 to 7 metres into the middle of the goal, really controlling the play. But so far, they've done a great job on it. Here, earning the foul. Now she'll sit up and take a shot here.
Oh, nice off-pace shot there. I find it quite funny, the 5 to 7 metres, because it's kind of a, if you don't press me, I'll take
I'm
the
gonna
ball,
shoot
I'm
and
going to
score.
shoot. And
Yeah.
if you do press me, someone else is free. Like
Yeah,
it's
or I'm going to earn the foul and put pressure on you straight away.
Mm-hmm.
So it's what great players are able to do now with these, the modern interpretation of the rules. And the Sydney Uni, it's getting a little bit windy here. So by playing a zone and forcing the shots from out top, it's having a real impact on this Tigers attack. And there's a definite wind in favour of the Lions here at the moment. Katie Dudley got a great shot away there, but just not enough to beat the goalkeeper. Both goalkeepers been really up to the task today. There she is in that 5 to 7 range, gets the ball live, and straight away they have to put pressure on her. Again, they're forcing the shot from a long way out. That shot was probably on about 7-8 metres, and Jen, up to the task.
That's the one difference, I think, between these two great teams that I've noticed today is Balmain seems to be playing more for the 2 metre line in the centre forwards and their set attack, whereas
Definitely.
Sydney Uni, they have very strong outside shots, so good on them for using them, but
Yeah, it's definitely
different
looking to look
style.
over the goal, and it's definitely a 5 metre. Great drive there from Zoe Thomas. She saw the gap, took the ball on, and made sure that Bianca took the ball inside and great cross pass and goal.
And it's that 1-6 side that you were talking about as well.
Exactly.
So that's Samantha Henderson's second exclusion for the game.
And they're just finding Keisha's cap.
It'll have to be a different cap at this pool once it's down.
I did see them pass it out. I did
okay.
see them pass it out, but you're right, once it's gone, it's gone. Now, Bianca taking this penalty. What do you reckon? I reckon she's going to go top right.
Bounce
Actually, left.
Oh,
Well, she moved her body position. That's why I changed. She moved her body position.
I love those shots though. You hear the clink of the metal.
It's nice. It's almost like a
beautiful.
swoosh in basketball, isn't it? It's
great.
got that. Yeah. I reckon the only one better is the off-wood in.
Yeah. Actually, I raise you off wood, but around the back of the net, so you get the double, the wood and the clinking.
Nice. We're going to see one. We're going to hear one by the end of the game.
Fingers crossed.
I reckon our producers can get a microphone down behind the goal. Yeah, he's giving me a nod. He's saying we're on. That's a really important goal, that. As we've seen, both between hard to score penalties. Oh, great centre forward play there. That was a left-handed little scoop and I was going to say scoop and swat. That was the best way to describe that by Ebony Nash. The Tigers straight into counter-attack. They put a lot of pressure on. If they get the ball deep here, then they can look inside to Katie, who's holding great position.
There's
And if
that
not,
drive.
there's that drive. Oh, great shot.
Beautiful shot. Taylor Dawkins.
So that's Taylor Dawkins in the 10, is it?
Yes. I've got a different number written down. I've amended my stat sheet. It's
Excellent,
okay.
thank you. As long as the stat sheet, should get a shot of this stat sheet later. It's very impressive. But that was a really good play, really good defensive, and then up into counter-attack. And because they counter-attacked really well, they had a number of options there. They could have played the ball into Katie, but then because Katie held position, rushed back, and they were able to get the shot from out top. Then Sydney Uni,
Wow,
same
some
thing
great
again,
movement
able to
there.
get the ball inside. Balmain just so solid at centre back, so solid. Even though that the attacker had a great position, she was able to just move around, not quite steal the ball, but nullify and do a simple attack.
Avoid the exclusion.
Definitely.
Great save for Jen
The
Longman.
ball skills of Annie and Clara is amazing. The way they hold the ball and get the ball in and around, and their ball skills are incredible. So for young boys and girls watching, that's what really needs to work on, really getting those great ball skills. And the only way to get that is by playing more and having the ball in hand. Tigers into counter-attack, holding position again. Katie holding great position, which makes the Sydney Uni play defence.
Unlucky there. those ball skills, it's the basics. I know my mum used to have me sitting on the couch playing with a water polo ball, just getting
But
my
that's how
fingers
you
and
get
hands
better,
used
having
to
a
it.
ball in hand,
Yeah.
passing the ball against the wall, against the rebounders, against whatever you can, because you can't be in the water all the time, but have the ball in hand.
If you can do it when you're not thinking, imagine when your mind's into it.
Exactly. Write that down. That should be a quote. Make a meme out of that. Tigers playing a 4-5 zone, and great shot there by number 6, Samantha Hardingham.
Yeah, Hardingham.
So placement. Didn't need to throw the ball hard, just moved into position, saw the gap and put it top corner. And that's against one of the best goalkeepers in the world. Didn't need to throw it hard,
nice.
just placement. No tink and swish, but not bad. So what does that take it to? Score 3-2...
4-3.
4-3 Tigers. So Tigers holding a 1-goal advantage.
We haven't exactly been short of shots either. There's been lots going. It's
Taking
great
a lot of
performance
shot,
from Jen.
a lot of opportunities for both teams. Both goalkeepers have been playing well, but the Sydney Uni defence, they get a lot of arms in front of the ball. Another great drive, this time by Sienna Hearn. And it looks like she's swapped sides. She's come across to the right-hander side. And here she is. Look at this, popping on the post here. Like you were saying, into that 3-3 position. But popping on the post, sits up, taking her time, composure, cross pass. Oh. But see, Sydney Uni, they just, rather than stress there and attack the player, they just dropped back, had hands in front of the goals. Sienna doing the right thing, looking at the cross pass. But Sydney Uni defence up for it.
I think in that occasion as well, Izzy Pam she was so ready and she had trust in her blockers there that as soon as the ball went down to Sassy Dunn, she was locked in.
She knew it was coming.
A 2-metre call.
Offensive turnover.
It's great with these rules now that the ball doesn't have to go all the way back.
I love it. Just means the game flows better, doesn't it? But here, Tigers on counter-attack. They've got a break. Lily's got to hold that position. 4 left in the quarter. Oh! Unlucky. See Bromwich just holding the ball out top and throwing it in. What a cracking quarter of water polo.
That was great to watch.
Great defence by both teams. Both attacks asking different questions, but both defensive structures up for it.
Just on goal count for Sydney Uni Lions, we have 2 goals to Nancy Lee and 1 goal here to Samantha Hardingham.
Yep.
And for the UTS Balmain Tigers, we are sitting at 2 goals for Bronwyn Knox, 1 for Taylor Dawkins and 1 for Bianca Romano.
So yeah, really spreading out. A real tussle in that quarter, wasn't it? Both teams pushing the counter-attack, both teams moving a lot in attack.
Lots more movement in that than the first, that's for sure.
A lot more, and at the moment, defence is up for it, up for the challenge. So how do we now look to, what's the next level to kind of break that up? I think as teams get tired, you want to see even more of that counter-attack. I'd probably like to see a little bit more change in the defence. So rather than Sydney Uni staying in that almost like a half M zone or into an M zone, going up into a press to then be able to push onto more of a counter-attack. And probably the same with the Balmain team. They're probably a little bit deep, which they can be with such an incredible, when you've got Bronwyn at centre back, Jen in goals, you can afford to play a little bit deeper because you know that they can stop the ball, which is great. But you've also then got to be able to exploit your counter-attack by having, by moving up into a press as well.
No notes on that, I agree.
So yeah, both coaches with a little bit to say at half time. You've played a little bit under Harry. What's the type of thing that he would be saying at quarter time? Does he let the team have their voice and then come in over the top, or how does he kind of structure his sort of half-time and quarter-time talks?
I'd say throughout the quarter he's got his notes, he's making his mental notes, he's got his written notes. Usually when we come in at a quarter-time break, he'll say what he needs to say, either whether it's we need to change up the attack or defence, or just things that we might be seeing, or we need to be told.
Yeah.
And then usually hands the floor over. Again, we've got Sienna, our captain. She'll have a few things to say, as well as great things from Bron or Jen defensively, and Katie, and everyone in this team feels like everyone's open to talk and everyone's open to listening. So it's great. But yeah, Harry obviously has his notes first and then gives us the opportunity to build on them from the in the water perspective.
I was going to say, and some pretty handy help, not just in the pool, but also having Taryn on the bench as well, having a Olympic assistant coach as your assistant coach, isn't
Taryn keeps her composure, I'd say. She's one to look at for sure. She's quite calm and collected on the bench, but it's good. It's like a step away from things, and obviously involved in those quarter time talks as well. With, again, a great wealth of knowledge.
So looking here on the right-handers side for the Tigers, you've got the Dunn sisters next to each other. Mm-hmm. What should we expect from those two playing with each other, and what are they like together? Like how is it the sisters training and playing together?
I'd say they're very nippy and fast.
Yep.
And I think it was an interview on our socials actually where they say we're sisters first and teammates next. So, as sisters do, but I'd say it's similar almost to Annie and Clara on for Sydney Uni. They just almost an unspoken language. They've been playing together for how long? They live together, obviously. So it's just, they can kind of sense
you
what
kind of know what they're going to do or where they're going to be.
Yeah, that's for sure. And as we've seen so far, they're both very drive.
They've had a lot of success driving and getting exclusion on that side. And I love the fact that Lily's taking it to Keisha Gophers, one of the most decorated players in Australian water polo, and she's not taking a backward step. Ball into centre forward, and see the composure of Bronwyn there, just moving out, not worrying that the ball's coming to centre forward, just holding position, pushing the ball out.
Great rush back there from Taylor Dawkins.
And see now you've got Keisha driving in on Lily. Great play. I'm loving that contest between them.
It's the second exclusion there for Lily Dunn.
So Sydney Uni straight into a 3-3 position.
Sitting really high on this side with Keisha.
Yeah,
She
quite
slides in.
high. Keisha ball and great shot. Great shot.
She wound up really high
Really
and
then moved into
right
position,
in.
slipped into that gap. There was that movement. The Sydney Uni team held the ball up on the far side, held it up, made the defence commit there, and then at the last minute she slipped inside. Like you said she held high and then just moved that late last minute play. Very deliberate play. Which evens it up, doesn't it?
It does. I was sitting at 4-all.
Katie holding position, still movement on that far side. Sydney Uni persisting with this drop off on the left-hander side.
Just off the top.
Just off the top. Sienna going for placement there instead of power.
Seems to be our motto today, I think.
It does, doesn't it?
One of two. Movement, placement instead of power.
And the tink swoosh, that's what we're after.
We're still waiting for the tink swoosh.
It'll come. Keisha's wasn't far off. That was a beautiful shot in the top corner. But again, it comes down to composure, placement.
It's great defence there from Taylor.
Yeah, really good defence. Held position, body position was good.
Sydney Uni have dumped the ball.
The Tigers going to counter-attack. See how easily Sienna moves up the pool here. She probably wants Sassy to keep moving forward there and open up that gap.
We have Katie facing up on the 3-4 side of the pool.
Great pass and great goal. Who was the pass from?
Knox.
What do we say about these great players? They've got incredible vision. It's not just being able to put the ball in the goal, it's knowing where the space is. Phenomenal pass. And also a great finish. Sassy scored that?
Saskia done. Running a pick on this side. We came out of it unscathed.
And again, great movement by Sienna, just up on her legs, moving towards the ball. Great defence. Tigers static in defence here. Good movement back. Great goal from Keisha Gophers. Tigers, too static. They fouled, then just dropped back. You can't let someone of that talent sit there and shoot from 5-6 metres. Great goal to level things up again.
that same thing of, oh, well, if you're going to leave me, I'm going to make you regret it.
Exactly. She took the space and phenomenal shot.
Back to evening up the scores at 5-all.
Bronwyn just controlling play from out top. Sydney Uni playing almost 3-back zone now. But put enough pressure on the ball to now they're going to counter-attack, and they've got a big 2-on-1 if they can maintain it. But look at that cover from Sienna Hearn.
Yeah.
She came from absolutely nowhere there to nullify that. Phenomenal.
Good save from Jen.
Great save from Jen.
That was unfortunate.
That was unfortunate. That was a drop of the ball. Keisha still holding position. Possibly that shot, instead of a shot, could have gone into Keisha and would have been a penalty. But sometimes luck just doesn't go your way, does it? So here we go, the silver wall. Penalty expert. Great shot. Great shot by Clara.
It's her first goal for the game.
But it was great play, that phenomenal counter-attack. And Tigers just couldn't scramble to cover that, could they? Even though Sienna, amazing defence. That puts them one up now, doesn't it?
One up, yeah, 6 goals to 5. Sydney Uni leading the way.
About in the middle of the third. Still playing a 3-4 zone, so off the Tigers' left-hand side. Great movement on the far side by, this time I think, Saskia Drive, but shot from here in Sydney Uni, just exactly where they want the shot to come from. I think they've got to do a little bit more than that if we want to break up this zone. Great flying sub on the far side. And still got a break here. Oh, great save by Jen, get that. Great save by Jen, and see how Bronwyn just did enough there on the number 8, a little bit, just holding on a little bit to make sure that she can't get to that ball. Great pass, got to look in early. Attack the ball, look in early. Great drive by Sienna on the far side to create space. Sydney Uni crashing back there in good defence.
We need to get that movement back up and going that was doing so many great things last
Sydney Uni
quarter.
defence there just looks too settled, doesn't it? They're just making it look too easy. You've got centre back holding position, even though the centre forward is holding on 2 metre line, but they're just holding them there and the defence is just coming back too easily. Good drive, great defence, great body position by Sienna there.
Oh, wow. Bit of a tussle there and centre forward, centre back.
Good drive for Bronwyn, just getting good body position.
Ball coming up the 3-4 side with Bianca Romano. Saskia Dunn's drawn the exclusion on the far side. That's,
Another great drive. Holding the ball. Oh, no.
I believe that's her 3rd exclusion, Samantha Henderson. So that's her done for the
I
rest
guess
of the
they're
game.
pushing it early, but just that loose pass out when we really had something set up on the far side. Nice pass over the top. Good defence by Saskia.
I think Sass has also stepped up the defensive unit. On 2 exclusions, can't afford another
She
one.
kind of had to defend well there, didn't she? Oh, Jen almost saves that, but a great centre forward goal. Great way to get the ball into centre forward, then get the shot away. So it's lines up by 2.
7-5, yeah.
7-5 in the bottom of the third. Tigers need to get a bit of that energy back, don't they? They had that in that second quarter when they had that counter-attack going really, really well. And now they're even going with the win, so it's definitely a goal advantage, at least a 1-goal advantage. Knocks out top, holds the ball.
Oh, great save there.
I thought she'd done enough again there. I thought she'd just placed it top corner, but a great save by Izzy Pam.
It was looking like we were at least going to get our swish.
It did, didn't it? We had this great angle from where City was just always going to slide top corner.
In for round 2
again,
here.
holding out top. They're not going to let her do it again, are they? Ball deep. Oh, nice shot.
Beautiful
Great shot.
Anderson Steeris, our New Zealand player for the season.
So she's just come over this year?
Yeah, she's come over this year.
You spend a bit of time with her, don't you?
She's actually living with me. So.
That would be a fair bit of time with
So
her.
yeah, there you go.
What's she like?
She's great. Very much a character. It's awesome.
As a player, she seems to bring a lot of energy to this side. That was a great shot here. Held the ball, like dropped back off her, held the ball up and shot cross cage. Great goal.
Very zippy. She does very well in on the post on the 3-4 side, which is not
defending
rare in
great.
National League, but I guess different for a right-hander to be comfortable on that side of the pool. So
Yeah, definitely. Great body position there because you've got two very good players doing picks and screens here down on this side. You've got Annie and Keisha doing a lot of movement here, and they've managed to get a result.
exclusion on Georgia Chapman.
Formidable duo over here, and Tigers have to scramble to get good defence here. Emerson coming round, they're moving into a 3-3, and like you said before, great movement and position.
I think we just lost a little bit of communication there, but that was great
They
movement
did,
there.
but that was also moving from a 3-3 and shifting round into position, and Tigers just not moving with it. Obviously, they need to move out towards Keisha the way that she's shooting, but by doing that, it opened up that post.
That was the first goal of the game for Lucy Marsh.
And that's a 2-goal advantage for the first time.
Might be up to. Hang on, let me count my sheet.
It's a great sheet.
It's 8-6, I believe.
Oh, great pass into centre forward. Even though this player's
five
coming
metre.
back, that's a penalty. Great play there by Sienna, holding the ball up, getting the ball down deep into Taylor and getting the ball in. Really good play. Sienna missed one earlier. This time I reckon she's just going to let it rip. She's going to sit high and just launch it, bounce. Nope.
Redemption. Izzy Pam got a hand to it there
She's
as
got a
well.
hand to
It's just
it.
a strong shot.
Strong shot, but even with that body position, she moved one way and then shot down the other way. So that really deceptive shot made the goalkeeper second guess it. And yes, she got a hand on it, but because she was going the other way, couldn't quite get a whole fist on it to stop it.
The other thing with, especially when it's Sydney teams versing each other, a lot of these girls would be training together at NSWIS and various other
Yeah, she'd be seeing that
other
shot
things.
a lot. So you've got to have variation on it. Again, great movement down here from the Sydney Uni team.
Just interrupted by a bit of a clock issue.
And which three do you see working together? The Espar girls and Keisha. Working really, really well together. So not long here, so you'd imagine that we might see a bit of a trick play here. Pass off. And you've got Clara coming up to Annie. Annie going deep down. Good defence by the Tigers to not see that, but to not allow them to score off that. Keisha out top, forcing the ball to the far side.
Two players sitting
Look
back.
at this. Drive in, jump back. Great defence. Tigers into counter attack. Ooh, that was lucky. Sienna earning exclusion and Harry calling a timeout. That was exclusion on the number 10, Kira Rippon.
I think it was just the classic, a little bit too close, too much of a tussle after a foul.
Yeah, it did kind of look like Sienna did drop the ball and then got a foul for it. So I can understand why Kira might have been a little bit confused by
going
that.
for it.
Yeah.
Look at this, we've
The
got the
rip-on is
advantage here. We can see the whiteboard.
Oh, I can see the whiteboard. A lot of scribble on that from Harry. He's holding it up, but he's not actually using it.
No.
It's a very deceptive play by Coach Sanderson.
Oh, here we
No,
go.
he's going to it. No, there it is. Can't quite tell what that is from here. It looked like actually what it did look like was a 4-2 with the two posts popping. but popping
into
towards the
centre,
middle to the
or-
centre, into the centre.
Yes.
So let's see if that matches what he said or if he's just trying to throw us off the scent. But there's a really important extra man for Balmain here, because this will bring it back to even.
I don't know how I keep counting and then forgetting what I've got written down.
Tigers moving the ball. Knox moves to the middle.
No, it looks like it's going.
Just so much time and space with it. Sienna up top. Good movement by Sydney. Onto the post. Oh, shot from out top wide.
Block there from Clara Esper.
Yeah, definitely. But there's great pressure from Sydney Uni on the attacking players. As soon as Sienna came around, they went to it. As soon as the ball went up to Bronwyn, went to it. Then as soon as the ball went deep, yes, the player was on the 2 metre line, but they couldn't get them the ball. Great defence from Sydney Uni. Now Katie in at centre back. A little whitewash. If they get the ball in here, we could be in trouble.
Hands up.
Did enough to defend there. And now going into counter attack. Here we see Tigers coming up into attack. Sydney Uni opting for a full field press. Ball up early into Sienna.
pass.
Great pass, great movement. And an exclusion. I think Sienna was hoping she could have got a penalty there by turning on inside, but that's the right call as we end the quarter. So ending the quarter, that's the third quarter.
That was
Done and dusted, one to come.
That final exclusion there was on number 5, Nancy Lee. Now, Nancy, I'm not sure if she is on 2 or 3, because remember that first kick out where they didn't hold up a number on our side?
Yes.
I think that may have been on her because she was in centre back at the time. However, I guess we'll see if
We'll
she
see
comes
pretty
back
quickly
in.
because now with the new rules, if you've got 3 exclusions, you need to actually take your cap off and leave the bench.
That's correct.
Which really helps us up here.
Well, the cap's untied, but
Yeah.
we'll see how far that takes us. We're sitting at score 8 to Sydney Uni and 7 to
So
UTS
8-7
Balmain.
going into the last quarter. So need to find a way to tilt momentum back to us here. And again, we don't need to score these 2 goals in the first quarter, but we've got to make sure they don't. So we can't fall further behind. But I think we go back to composure's got to be a really important part of this game. Got to make sure we don't rush it early and allow their counter attack, and probably need to put pressure on their top those 3 players. So we can't let Annie, Clara, or Keisha score anymore from this side. So we've probably got to force one of their other players, other probably less experienced players, to come up with a shot in not just extra man but in other play.
Look, and if any of the last games between these 2 teams speak for anything, we knew it was going to be a tight one. So I guess it's just the added pressure and excitement of just they need to keep pushing. Either team can't let the other slip away from them at this point.
But isn't it amazing to have down here of a Saturday afternoon, awesome day, and have the quality of players that we've got playing in
Oh,
here?
it's great. Yeah.
Like the depth of the competition this year, even just looking at these 2 teams, is absolutely phenomenal, isn't it? Like we've got Olympians, you've got incredible internationals, like not just good
International
players,
Olympians too.
international Olympians. You know, like it's phenomenal to have.
It's great for the kids watching as well, honestly. They're idols that they can look up to.
And it's unreal. And you see down here all the kids lining up on the side of the pool, watching and not just like hopefully learning from these players, seeing what they do, seeing how Annie sits on that 5 or 6 metre line and causes pressure from there, but then also creates space for other teams. Like, it's been what she's been able to do for her team that's enabled them to put them in this position. It's the space that she creates and the vision that she makes that's been able to put them up today. So she's, by her movement and her vision, it's enabled these players to play really, really well. So we've got Nancy, she's scored a couple. Keisha's obviously scored a couple. Sydney Uni win the swim, which means that he's back to even. It's hard to do much with that exclusion, isn't it? Even if they win that, probably not going to call a timeout here, so they've only got sort of that 15-20 seconds to
All the way up the pool.
all the way up the pool. They're tired, they're not set, whereas the defensive team is set. So
It's looking like we were right, and it was Nancy Lee.
Yeah, I can see her there with the cap off at the back of the players' box. Defence by Taylor, good foul. She got a. So that's what we're talking about. What a shot from 5-6 metres, pressure on, comes back, and there's that wood in straight off the just bathroom wear goals. What a goal! Shouldn't get that excited about a Sydney Uni goal, but gee, it was good. The quality of water polo here is phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. Tigers with a bit of work to do. Ball deep. Sydney Uni still playing that zone. Tigers haven't been able to effectively break it up, and they haven't really changed what they're doing for the game. Bronwyn starting to move. Oh, unlucky.
That was perfectly in the top corner.
That was perfectly in the top corner and through arms. That was a heavy shot through arms.
Fortunate turnover. Great positioning here
Great
from Annie.
positioning here. Come inside. Got to be an exclusion. And time out by Sydney Uni coach Scott Nicholson.
It's the exclusion there on Zoe Thomas. It's
Yeah, it was.
second for the game.
She did well not to cause a 5 metre there. Did well to hold a position, make sure that she didn't pull right inside and for a penalty. So if the Tigers are smart here, they'll try and put pressure on this extra man and counter-attack. Because at this point in the game, Sydney, and if they score 3, then that's a pretty good gap. But if they miss this and we score the other way to make it a 1-goal game, it really puts pressure on them. So here I'd like to see more movement from the Tigers' defence. Yes, you've got to focus on their top 3 players. So with the S-Bars and Cation, like we said, try to force a shot from one of their other players, but then see how they go into that extra man. So going into a 3-3 with Keisha, Addie and Clara taking up the 4, 5 and 6 positions. Let's see what movement they do. And both the couple of their extra man goals they've scored, they've had really good movement. And coming off a timeout, you'd imagine that this will be a set play. So Keisha drives in, ball deep, you've got to stay on Keisha, great defence. Movement there, hit that. Oh, good goal.
I love that ball movement again.
Great ball movement. And see how you had a drive from both the top positions. Keisha kept going, and Clara there, Annie I think it was, Clara popped back, got the ball in the hand from a couple of movement on the far side, through traffic, scored a goal. Great goal.
I have to say, I've just been getting some messages from some of our overseas players talking about my stat sheet. I've been listening to the live stream and going to have to send them a photo of my stat sheet once the
Fantastic.
game's
We'll definitely
done.
do that before the end of the game. Don't you worry about that. Tigers looking for a quick goal here. A lot more.
It's like we are getting that pop through the centre.
There it is. Got to get the ball over to Sienna on this far side. Oh, great goal.
Great work there from Zoe Thomas.
Great goal from Zoe Thomas. Great cross pass from, I think it was Taylor Dawkins on this side. Cross pass and great goal. Again, Izzy was there, but just wasn't able to hold on to it. It was a great cross pass and shot. And that's how you've got to beat these good goalkeepers, with a great cross pass, shot off the hand. 2-goal game, about half a quarter to go. Any other good comments coming on from the text line?
Not quite, just lots of support for the girls in the water at the moment.
Fantastic. So who are we hearing from? Who are the internationals that we're hearing
Oh,
from?
here we go. Girls are going to get a shout out here. We've got Layla Smith, Matilda War, and Naoka Thomas. All three
Right
girls.
about now, you could probably do with those 3 in the water here, couldn't you?
Too busy playing water polo over in the US at the
It's nice
moment.
for some reason. So all 3 over in the US at the moment. Oh,
Great.
another cross pass and shot. Cross pass, shot off the hand, bounced down the line. Even the best goalkeepers in the world can't stop that.
Seems to be a common theme, these cross-pass shots. Hey.
Bit of a discussion between Bronwyn and Jen on that. And straight away, deep, we've got the Dunn girls working together deep on that side.
You can hear the call this side, this side.
Bronwyn holds the ball up. See, the way she just holds the ball, it's so natural. Oh. Taylor tries to shoot through traffic.
The shot didn't quite work out, but she rounded all the way up, so it was a better angle for herself, which was...
Much better, but then tries to shoot through one of the Espar girls. So it's defending so well. And then straight away, Keisha goes into a counter-attack, gets an exclusion, draws an exclusion.
And
That's the experience that you're seeing there.
Sassy's third kick out. So she won't be participating any further in the game.
See this ball movement up top onto the post. They really created that 3-on-2 on that side. There's not much that the Tigers could have done because they were pressing on this side and had to help back over there.
It's goal number 2 to Sydney Uni's number 16, Ebony Nash.
She's worked really hard today, Ebony. Worked really hard at centre forward. It's great to see her get a couple of goals.
Both her goals have been, it's a great payoff for what she's done to
held
get
really
there.
good position,
Yeah.
made sure that she's available when the players have overcommitted, got the ball and thrown the ball in the goals. And any goal against these two goalkeepers is a good goal. Rounding up. There's the tink off the just bathroom wear goalposts, but tink and out. Might have to get those readjusted for next week. Make sure that they tink and in.
Slightly angle them inwards.
Exactly. And again, look at the experience down here. Oh, what a matchup here. So you've got Keisha and Annie up against Bron Knox and Sienna Hearn. Come on, go again. Again, great play to centre forward, but good save. Now let's see the other end here. So Bron's moving in towards centre forward. She's hoping that Sienna gets the ball for her. Oh, better pass. It skids on the salt water, so you've got to adjust to it. Bron's in at centre forward. Great defence here. Look at this. Oh. Really good defence there by Clara Espar.
So they've got a counter coming up through on the 1-6 side over here.
And look, she just defended really strongly at centre back and counter-attacked to the 2 metre. Straight into a 4-2 setup. And Ebony holding position again. This time Lily at centre back. I'd like to see it push off and swim around here. Use the swimming speed to get around rather than engage and wrestle. Tigers, good defence. Now into counter-attack. Pushing it hard on this side. Look, Sienna's got a break if they can get the ball here. Good defence. Over. Round up and shoot. Come on. Ball playing to centre forward.
Exclusion on number 13.
13.
Yes, but
Great pass in. Moving around. There's that post again. Sienna's got a great pass. Oh, great save. Great save. Cross pass and shot. But there, as a player, you've got to know that the goalkeeper's going to jump there. So the shot there is to hold it up and pull it back inside. Not easy to do.
prior to the shot, though, she did make good movement.
Yeah, really good movement. Everything was right. Just that shot had to just be a little bit better.
The execution.
That last little bit, right? So again, Lily really wrestling at centre back. Right, Sydney Uni driving in a second centre forward. They've done in the second half. They've worked really well down this right-hander side to create space. Go on, Jen. Good work, Jen. Good fight. Oh, unlucky.
So they've got a free player on the other side of the.
Switching in at centre. Keisha always working off the ball. Come in, moving around, driving. Still that driving deep. Creating space. Oh, great ball movement. Let's see, that was the shift to the shoulders, boom, onto the left, onto the right hand, and away they go.
That pass, though, that was all that great communication. Just all you heard was the hey, and it was
just
she
silky,
flicked without
just
even
boom,
looking.
boom, even that, just a shift to the shoulders, shaking a shimmy. Tigers still working hard in attack. Katie holding position, ball in, and with one hand down, it's got to be an exclusion. They've got to look for a quick goal here. A quick shot, but it's got to beat the arm.
Nash.
The tussle between she and Lily's been ongoing for the last little bit, hasn't it? Sydney Uni slowly bringing up the ball up the field.
Probably a good thing we've got Lily and Keisha away from each other now. Just as I say
just
that.
as you say that, back she comes.
Great control there from
Great
Bianca
control
Romano.
and time out here by Coach Sanderson.
He's forgot his whiteboard.
How are we going to know what he's going to do?
Interim manager Lucy Bebb's got it.
There she is.
Bringing it over.
She's got to be next to him if she's going to bring it. She's got to make sure. There she go. There it is.
Oh.
There you go. She was ready. She got ears on us. So while Harry gives his final messages to his charges, let's hold this up to the camera here. There we go, girls.
Anyone's
Can you see that? We got a shot of that.
I wish I brought a ruler. Now
There
I'm
are
embarrassed.
There are 2 pages to that. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Oh, goodness. Well, we've got the score sitting at the moment at 12 goals to 8, Sydney Uni leading.
The second half, they're really blown away, haven't they?
Just like my hair at the moment up here, jeez. Things coming in.
I don't have that problem. Moving to a more traditional M zone here. Ball in. Indy holding the ball out top. You can see Sienna's starting to get frustrated. She just wants to get the ball in the back of the net, but they're so heavy on her. Ball coming from a couple of different angles. I don't think that was the play that Harry would have wanted there.
No. I think we might be doing a decent amount of passing at training next week.
Oh, here we go. Goalkeepers up in attack. This is what we like to see. So we've now got a 7-on-6 with Isabel Pant moving from a preferred position in the cage to out top.
Oh.
Ball shot from deep, and that rounds out the game. Sydney Uni win 12-8. What was a great, really skillful game. First half really close, and then the Sydney Uni team just their skill and experience kind of just pushed away in the second half there, didn't it? But you've also got to have with Balmain having the backing up after that heavy road trip over the last week over to Perth, it's got to have an impact, right? I'm sure. I know that a lot of strong, fit players, but just mentally and physically, that turnaround's got to have a bit of an impact.
Come back and get you. I do have to say I might have to leave you a little bit early because I've got to go get ready for my own game that's about to.
Excellent. I think we can say we're pretty much done here. Thank you very much for everyone watching both men's and women's games. Unfortunately, both games did not go the Tigers' way today, but there are plenty more games down the Baths today. So if you are in the area, pop on down and watch some quality water polo. So who are you playing against? What time?
I'm pretty sure we start in the next 15-20 minutes. So we'll just
Excellent. So if you're going to come down quickly to watch Megan dominate in what grade are we playing?
Second
Grade today. How's the second grade team been going?
been pretty well. We had a good win last week. We lost the week before versus Des Moines, but again, we're a young team filtering through, so it's a lot of younger girls that are on their way to AWL and National League, and then there's people like me who are kind of on their way out of National League. But no, it's really great. It's a great team to play with. very quick and fit and fast. I'm excited for a home game down at Dawnies, honestly. So
I know, how good is it?
yeah, great.
How good is it?
Yeah.
Unreal. Well, thank you very much for today, and thank you for everyone watching on at home. Fantastic day down at Dawny, some incredible water polo. Unfortunately not going the Tigers' way in either the men's or women's games. But thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.
Thank you. You good?